Now, here are the guys.
The ball is tipped. I didn't get to sing it, but we lived it. Welcome to the Morning Huddle. We got a whole bunch to talk about. And aren't you glad that RJ Ochoa is here to guide and to facilitate the sporting conversation over the next 4 years? Or 4 years, 4 hours, 4 days, and a... All right. We're now silent. We're ready to go. Good morning, RJ.
Hey, yo.
We're going to let everybody look behind the scenes. Your morning brigade, see, that's the good stuff about being part of our brigade bar, is you get to see behind the scenes. See, for the last 3 weeks, we've had this, I'm not going to use the technical term because it just fell out of my brain, but we've had this thing that Westwood One, the provider of our NCAA basketball coverage, had a little thing that at the beginning of every hour, the basketball moment. You got to hear the Westwood One voice. Well, that's gone. And I forgot. So we started about a minute and a half earlier than accustomed to. And I was flat-footed, much like the Purdue defense in the fourth quarter. Good morning, Rudolph. We're glad you're with us today, along with all your other brigade bar types. We're going to talk national champions, and man, oh man, do we have one. The NBA gets cooking again tonight. 14 basketball games will be played tonight. The Spurs will participate as well. They'll do so without Keldon. CeeDee Lamb may or may not report for camp or have a new contract. It's kind of like you woke up from a dream and now you're back in like the real world. And all that fun stuff that went on over the weekend. And you're back from vacation and here come the Bills.
Yeah, although lots of fun vacation-y type sports going on. You mentioned how much NBA. It's the lead up to the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs around the corner. It's Masters Week. We're now past the opening day, peeling of the plastic off of baseball and just kind of in the weeds of the regular season. Everybody's already had their opening days at home at this point. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of sports that are sportsing all over the place. The fact that the tournament is now over is sad. But it was a proper tournament. It was right. It was chalk in the correct ways. It gave us the taste of Cinderellas that we so covet this time of year. I mean, my I said this yesterday. My heart is full. My cup runneth over. And I'm kind of upset, Rob, that you didn't congratulate me. For the first time ever, I won my bracket of record.
Oh, wow. Ever?
Yeah, I've never won my bracket of record. I do this every year, set it up, friends, family, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. You're looking at the champion right now.
I won a few as well.
So you had to take my moment to make it about yourself.
I'm just glad you did. But
no, I mean, it couldn't be a congratulations. It just had to be I've won some as well.
Well, we're all standing in the same circle. I was giving you an attaboy.
Well, shout out to me for being the smartest person alive.
Yeah, really. Well, at least in your small circle.
That's true. But you know what? That's what matters.
It is.
Relative to this
I'd much rather be a big fish in a small pond.
I am just Danny Hurley is the coolest dude in the world. That's my takeaway from.
Did you really take away from him?
I loved it all. We talked about this. I'm not a WWE person, not a WrestleMania person, but it was just to see the character just kind of live itself out throughout the night was immaculate. It was perfect. It was everything I wanted it to be.
The juxtaposition in the storyline. I mean, it is truly basketball royalty. The Hurley family. From Jersey to his son at Duke, and now Danny's success. And Bobby's had a fair amount of success in college as well. Yeah, just a phenomenal story. And let's proclaim greatness. He has put together a juggernaut of a program. That team was so much better than a really, really, really good Purdue team. They were just head and shoulders above the next best team in the country. That's what it was.
And they lost talent, and they got better. I mean.
We could say the same about our women. South Carolina did the same thing. Lost talent, came back better. We are in the age of what could be dynasties, and a time that is kind of a Wild West period. Yet we have two teams that have figured out how to maintain and grow in a time of big money and big transfers. There might be a precedent set. I'm sure there are studies beginning right now. Why are they so successful? And schools like Kentucky in basketball and Alabama in football are suddenly flailing around. What have they done to maintain or grow while some of the blue bloods haven't? I think it's worthy of looking at it. And how do we define a modern dynasty? I think it's a good conversation to have today, and we'll have that along with the Spurs getting busy again in Memphis, trying to stave off infamy that is the worst in franchise history. We'll see if they can do that again. Wemby will be alone as far as the big three. Keldon will be out today. I'm telling you, man, this sample size is starting to grow. That the team plays better without just Victor and his Victettes. That's not a good one. We need to come up with Wemby and his somethings. And it's a derogatory term. I know it. But.
Well, what if we do a play on aliens? So.
Yeah.
The eclipse happened yesterday.
And
Coolest
Nike
thing
been
that ever
planning.
happened.
Well, Nike had been working. They picked a date, an appropriate date.
Well, yeah. So Nike, right as the eclipse was happening, shared what appears to be Wemby's new logo. And it might be the coolest.
You like it?
Take that back right now.
Well, I like the logo. All I can think about is would I want to be called an alien?
Dude, yes.
Okay.
I mean, yes.
In my mind, when I think of alien, I think of a big scary monster with sterling silver teeth that jet out from their mouth with acid blood and rip out your heart. That's what I think.
This is a good question. This is a good question. So what movie are you referencing? Like when you think of alien what's the movie Alien?
When I say, hey, that guy looks like an alien, I think of that or a slee stack.
I don't know what a slee stack is.
Well, you're too young. And for those of us that know, you'll know.
So what I think of is the aliens from Signs with Mel Gibson.
The long, skinny, thin ones?
The green ones, yeah. Like in the corn maze, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
is that the one where you get like this brief second of like walking across the screen in Mexico?
That's exactly it was
okay,
like them,
I see that. I'm down.
It was them watching the news in the movie, and it was the alien walking by or whatever on the news.
Where everybody in the whole movie theater, what was that? Okay, yeah.
Oh, dude, that was a wild time. Yeah. But anyway, this this commercial had vibes of that because it was kind of like a cornfield, whatever. So it kind of works with my definition of alien, which is maybe some people go with like ET. I don't know if that's your definition of alien. That's kind of weird.
You have a glass half full sunny disposition. If you think when the aliens get here, they're gonna like Reese's Pieces.
On the subject of being referred to as an alien, would you want to be referred to as the freak? You know what I mean? Like we've come a long way for word association in the NBA. So being referred to as the alien is pretty cool. So that being said, this is the sickest logo I've ever seen.
Well, it's pretty. It's good. It's good.
Hindsight's little 2020. I never got on board with the Kawhi logo.
No,
I never really liked the letters and the hand. It felt so forced. This feels so simple. It's like a stamp. It's just like a kiss of.
I'm pulling it up
perfection.
Here. I'm gonna take a deeper dive onto this thing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought Slender Man, but no, it's Alien, obviously.
Whoa, that's too far.
Well, see, he dressed like that for Halloween, and that's scary. You don't want to go into paint with Slender Man down there. But no, the logo fits. It is a basketball. If you haven't seen it, it has in the middle of the ball where there's stripes. It appears to be an alien head with eyes, and then on the edges of the ball in the lower quadrants are the Nike swoosh. We got to see it edged into a cornfield. I guess that's in France. I don't know. It looks like that's going to be his logo. I don't know if that'll adorn his shoe or just a line of apparel.
Probably adorn a lot of things that we wear
from now on until forever. I mean, it's hard to get the shoes taken. I mean, Yeezy might have gone a little nuts, but the shoes are still pretty dope. So those things are still floating around.
Are the Huskies aliens or freaks by your estimation?
The players or the dogs?
No, the team and the dynasty that's brewing.
Man, that is such a good question. Because when you think of this team and you think of last year's national championship team, without going too deep, how many players can you name off these two teams?
You're saying the two UConn teams?
Yeah. How many players can you name even after last night? How many can you name?
I think we need to specialize or localize that question and say how many stars.
Well, I'm just saying, name.
No, but like
10. There's 10 starters over the last 2 years. Can you name 5 of them?
But what I'm saying is, it's not like they. Some teams are propelled by, like you think of those Florida teams, the last ones that repeated. You know what I'm saying? Like it was it was the same kind of crux. It was the same like nucleus, and they just happen to have this incredible moment. And this isn't that. This is just like a culture. This is it's just an environment that they've created. And that's why I love the Danny Hurley thing. I loved how he was, hey, we run college basketball. Like, I love the bravado. Because I'm a big believer in, history is written by the winners, and they hold the pen. I mean,
6 titles since '99. 6.
Holy crap! I mean, who comes close to them? Nobody does. I mean, we think of these other schools, and they are, I think, by definition, blue bloods, but Kentucky belongs nowhere near UConn in conversation in terms of modern history.
And we'll talk about the ramifications of the Kentucky soon to be opening. I felt very awkward when they asked him about that last night. That was a weird question to be standing up and that. Literally, Kentucky. I'd turned to him and gone total Jersey on him. GFU, man. I
GFU? Wouldn't it be GFY?
Well. Okay, yeah, probably. now in hindsight.
Okay.
I mean, but who's in with that spelling thing? That was an awkward question, but it did beg. I mean, it was something that we were all kind of eager to hear. He handled it quite well, but he had the typical response, and there is no way in HE double toothpicks that he would go down to Kentucky now. He is Jersey through and through. He let it be known. A great ending to what was been a great season. We're going to talk dynasties. We're going to talk Spurs. Is it conflicting news about CeeDee, RJ? Before we go too deep into it, which we will very quickly, because I hear audio like, "Hey, I'll be here."
I think it's the kind of thing that happens when you're at this point. It's a little bit of idle hands, but there's, some semblance of truth to the situation that's being described.
All right.
And that isn't to say that there's anything negative going on with CeeDee or even the Cowboys, but when you let it get here, that's where you're at. I mean, that's the reality of the situation, and you have to put up with this. So there's only one way to fix this, and that's to pay him and to get it done.
Did you grow up in a household that watched novellas?
No, but my grandmother watched them all the time.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is this feels so much like a novella. We need to come up with a Dallas Cowboy themed name for the Cowboys world. Novella
Las
name.
Estrellas Dramáticas.
Well, something to do with silver and blue and fire and I don't know, something that would sound like what's going on behind the scenes with the Cowboys.
Do you know the formal name for the Game of Thrones novels?
No.
What the collection is called?
What?
It's called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like that. I don't know how to,
But I want it in Spanish. I want it to just sound like a novella name. Like something completely dramatic. And if that's a great thing for the Brigade Bar. So if you can come up with something themed with Dallas and silver and star and chisme and drama, all rolled into a fancy couple of name novella.
I think a lot of them are going to be suitable for the radio.
Well, I mean, it might be suitable for the bar.
That's true. Well,
I mean,
that's what matters the most, I guess.
Let's talk about them Dallas Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb is front and center. Will he get his contract extension before he shows up, or will he sit at home waiting for it? We'll talk Cowboys. And then Wemby, he's in Memphis after he has a rib or two. Will he be ready to go alone yet again? We're talking Spurs then as well. We got national champions. Thoughts all game day long. And anybody sunburnt from the eclipse? I certainly am not. Coming back, here we go with the Cowboys. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Twin Peaks is sitting here waiting on you on a Tuesday after the big game because the world continues, all the games you love. It's Masters Week, so why don't you head over there today about noon? Get yourself that great lunch special, a big old tall iced tea, wink, wink, and watch yourself some Masters at the Augusta. It'll be on the screens. You'll be amongst friends and fam and those of like mind, and you'll have yourself a great week as we head all the way through every round, every screen. The Masters will be there for you, and that's just the beginning. We got all the baseball you're chasing as the silver and black wind down their season. No better place to sit down and watch that as the playoffs begin. Sit there as well. Specials every day. You got your lunch. You got your close down specials as well. You always get the icy cold balls to go with the house-made drinks with the mixologist that knows what she's doing. going, and we haven't even begun to talk about the kitchen. Head over to Twin Peaks today. It might have been a minute, but head over there today, and you're going to have yourself a fine time. The eats are spectacular. The drinks always icy cold, professionally made. But why do we go? It's so easy. It's those scenic views.
94.1 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000-$4,000. Wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carats are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
With Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,000 off select laundry appliances from top brands like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. And with convenient shopping in-store and online, you can get new appliances with smart, intuitive features any way you want. Like a new LG wash combo all-in-one that can run a full load in under 2 hours. Right now, get $1,000 off select laundry appliances with Spring Black Friday savings in-store and online at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's monthly protection. NexGard Plus, afoxolaner, moxidectin, and pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious, beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus chews.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Hey, huddle up. RJ's got a call. We're gonna run 2 plays here.
What are the 2 plays?
I don't know. We got about 30 seconds. Let's try to get 2 shots. Put basketball to bed. National champions, UConn, well earned. The one shining moment video, it was good. Wasn't great.
Oh,
it was good. It was really good.
No.
What made me mad, I was this is nitpicking, but I'm kind of an aficionado of all the one shining moments. In fact, I took a moment last night to watch some old ones. That's what I love about YouTube.
So not.
It's true.
Okay.
I got a link to one, and I just you fall into one of those doom scrolling holes. Anyway,
Down your rabbit hole.
And the real back in the day when they were able to throw video in that had just happened was really kind of a miracle. Anybody been behind the scenes and see how you have to edit and get things ready to get to be on screen? No, it is a bear. And to be able to get the game over and grab the highlights all the way to the last moment and have it edited and ready for a package to run 15 minutes after the game was over was always a miracle. Like, these are the best guys in the world. Now that's become pretty commonplace. And the fact that they left that Heidi dunk off the one shining moment, which was the most ridiculous play, I would say, of 2 weeks, man. That was, my God.
I think you have to parse through the context, though.
I agree. But that was such a remarkable thing. I was looking forward to seeing it in the package so that it will live on, because I'll tell you this time next year, I'm going to forget. But the package itself, the one shining moment video, I'll watch at some point in the future and I'll remember the game. I may or may not remember the Heidi dunk, and I should remember it. It was in a loss, sadly, and when they were way behind, but it was such a miraculous play, perfect for the one shining moment idea.
You can't have the moment in the title game come from the losing team. Sorry.
See, and there I will agree, even though you're being obstinate. The Cowboys also being obstinate. That's the reason I wanted to get there. You're not being obstinate. Jerry is. As we search from without to find some kind of help, the search from within has been kind of forgotten about. CeeDee's got to get signed. I don't think this is going to be a problem. I think he's going to get his money sooner than later.
It's April 9th, and about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, NFL Network's Jane Slater, friend of the station, reported that she believed CeeDee Lamb would be the first to get his extension done, that he was the priority. Again, this is her reporting of the 3 on the team needing extensions this offseason. Extensions, new deals, however you want to term it. Obviously, Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons, the others. Although Dan Graziano threw some cold water on that recently.
What do you mean?
Well, Dan Graziano was on ESPN radio and was asked about the idea of Dak Prescott or Micah Parsons getting extensions this offseason, and he does not believe that they will happen anytime soon.
I don't think either one of those deals happens in the 2024 calendar year. So let's say Dak next year, because they're going to have to, right? Like, he'll be a free agent if he gets to next March. So I would say that happens after next season ends, and then maybe Micah happens next summer.
So just from a factual standpoint, the Dak Prescott has the least amount of time left on his current deal, then CeeDee Lamb, then Micah. Micah has the longest amount of time left. Dak is entering the final year of his contract, as is CeeDee Lamb technically, but the Cowboys could place the franchise tag on CeeDee. That's why they have more time with him. Micah Parsons is only entering year 4 of his rookie contract, and they've already picked up his 5th-year option. So they, at the very least, have him under contract for the 2024 and 2025 seasons. And then if they really wanted to, they could get into the franchise tag dance with him. I know this is overwhelming to you. So that being said, okay, so these are 2 really trusted and really embedded reporters in the NFL, Jane Slater and Dan Graziano. So Dan says He doesn't think that Dak or Mike is going to happen in the calendar year. Okay.
No, I buy
sucks.
that. It sucks, but I buy it.
So I know that the topic here is CeeDee, but the reason that that's frustrating is actually represented by CeeDee, because you want to get the Micah deal done as soon as possible, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to get. So you want to get that done as soon as possible so you can also establish salary cap relief in the future. The Cowboys did not do that with CeeDee. Obviously. That's why they're here.
Future.
So in a perfect world, you would be that forward thinking. In a perfect world, you would be telling yourself, let's get this done so that we're not dealing with the ramifications later. CeeDee Lamb, much like Dak Prescott, or exactly like Dak Prescott, has all of the leverage here. And what is more dangerous about CeeDee relative to the market is, if you look at the quarterback market this offseason, the Jaguars could get Trevor Lawrence done to a deal. The Dolphins could get Tua Tagovailoa done to a deal. I don't think personally that either one of them are going to totally reset the market. But however, at the wide receiver position, CeeDee Lamb needs to get paid. Justin Jefferson needs to get paid. He's the same draft class as CeeDee, and he's better than CeeDee, to be quite frank with you.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk,
right?
All these receivers need new deals.
As he waits, it keeps escalating.
I think they're all waiting. They're all playing this game of chicken because they all want to let the others happen so that they can come to the table and ask for more.
That did bite a bunch of running backs in the ass, where suddenly they couldn't get paid because there were a bunch of them out there, and then people started lunging for the first dollars offered.
That's true, but the running back is a depreciating asset.
Okay, I'm just saying that this strategy of let's all wait and see for the first guy to sign,
there will
doesn't
always
be work.
A necessity for this position, and these are the very best players.
Now,
go ahead.
My question about CeeDee specifically is, why would Jerry want to poke the bear? Finances be damned, because I have another issue with that. Because when did Jerry become that guy? The only when I have to guy. But finances be damned. You've got a quarterback you're not paying. You had a running back that ran away. I mean, one way or the other. At some point, you have to illustrate some goodwill to your fandom, or to your team, and be the first guy to the table and say, "Man, we love you. Here's the money." And for somebody, he's done it in the past, maybe to the wrong dudes, but at least he came out and showed the team, I am willing to pay some guys. Other stuff's business, and I don't want business to get in the way of family. And this didn't, and he always kind of made nice with everybody. Right now, he's the ogre on a yacht that I'm not paying crap to anybody.
That's a fair and valid point. And that's what's so frustrating about this. The Cowboys have said for 2 years now, we're going to have to, bite the bullet on these things because we're going to be in a situation where we have to pay Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. Okay, well, you've got one reporter saying that they don't believe a Dak or Micah deal is coming at any point in the 2024 calendar year, despite the fact that we're only entering the second quarter of it. You've got the CeeDee deal percolating and withering in the air. And so what was it for? What was all that sacrifice for? If you were supposed to pay these guys? And I guess the answer to your question, like who was the guy? It was Trayvon Diggs. They did give Trayvon Diggs his deal last year at training camp. And that was an example of a little bit of forward-thinking mindset of saying, we got to pay him now because he's going to be obviously very good. And he was coming off of, an incredible run. And it was unfortunate that he got hurt. But they aren't – there are 5 positions in the NFL that are premier, that you pay, elite top shelf money to. Your money 5. You've got quarterback, wide receiver. You've got corner, you've got edge rusher, then you've got left tackle.
Right.
Okay. Or blindside tackle if your quarterback's left hand. Or so whatever. Left tackle in this situation. Examine the state of those positions for the Cowboys. The top tier position from that perspective, or the one that's been taken care of, is corner. Right? Trayvon Diggs got his deal, got his bag,
but I know where you're going next, but I'll disagree with the next one. Go ahead.
Okay. Quarterback, they're not taken care of.
Well, right? They are kinda. They got one this year.
Okay, but still,
I'm just saying. In Jerry's perspective, it seems that all that matters is tomorrow.
If there are spots and areas on your team where you want to exemplify a level of forward-thinking mindset, it's here. So cornerback, okay, check, respect. We'll give that to you. Quarterback, no, you don't have that going on.
Forward-thinking past next year, but next, okay.
wide receiver, no. You're dragging your feet here and you're
Well, I
wasting
can
time.
franchise him, so I'm still good there.
But you're paying more in the process. That's the problem with franchise tag.
Obviously, money doesn't matter.
It does matter. It limits you from a salary cap standpoint. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
You have to take on Jerry's perspective, and that is if I'm not paying today, it's a good thing.
Left tackle.
They're okay
Obviously,
at left tackle. I'm not going to – that's where I'll beg to differ. I think they're going to be okay at left tackle. It's center that bothers me.
A little half in, half out right now because it could be Tyler Smith, whatever, fine. And edge rusher. So you can qualify Micah Parsons as that.
So that's not awful.
But here's the thing, Rob, and this comes back to the holdout thing. I wouldn't fault CeeDee for not. CeeDee is coming off.
I'd hold out. I would.
This is, 6 years ago, my friend Jimmy, or 5 years ago, I guess, he said, this was the first offseason that Amari Cooper was a Cowboy, coming off the season where Dallas traded for him, and he was eligible for an extension. And, my friend Jimmy and I would talk, whatever, he's one of my better friends, and he would say, I have no idea why Amari's showing up. He's like, if I was Amari, I would hold out. He was like, they traded a first round pick for me. I saved the season.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, my value is never, ever, ever going to be this high ever again. And thankfully Amari didn't, and they still got the deal done. And then they penalized him for it and traded him away as a result of it. But CeeDee is coming off of, this is not hyperbolic or an exaggeration, the greatest statistical season that any wide receiver has ever had for the Dallas Cowboys. Ever. And so if I was advising CeeDee, I'd be of the mindset, dude, look, I have faith in you and I have confidence that you're going to continue to thrive and flourish, obviously, as an NFL player. But the reality of you ever hitting these same statistical marks all in the same season is low. So you have to cash in now. So if I'm CeeDee, I'm holding out. If I'm Micah, I'm holding out because I'm eligible for an extension for the first time. There's no way that I'm showing up to work for payment on my rookie contract. I have delivered well over, return on value in terms of my contract. And those are the rules, right? Those are the NFL rules. I did what I had to do, but now that I'm eligible, I want to be paid commensurate to my worth. Dak Prescott could hold out for all we know, although his situation is a little bit different in that capacity. So this is really peeing into the wind. And what leverage do the Cowboys have in any of these situations? None, because they have the others to work with, and they're going to try to use these other players against one another and say, well, see, you got to take a little bit less so Micah can have some. No, that's on the Cowboys to figure out.
In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk Cowboys just a little after 8. And I've seen it floating around, and I don't know how true it is, but there's somebody out there saying that there's some Cowboy administrators that are sick of Micah's attitude and altitude. That I want to get into whether that's real. And whether and if it's not real, who's manufacturing the rumors? But we're going to do that just after 8 o'clock. Coming back, the Wemby road trip starts as they close down the season. They're up in Memphis. Keldon out tonight. He's alone with the Wimbets.
But we need an alien name. We kind of strayed from that.
Well, yeah, we got to come up with a tandem that only includes Wemby and the dudes that are going to be driving beer trucks and selling insurance next year.
Wow.
Oh, that's tough. That was harsh. That wasn't that.
That was really
really
actually
harsh.
mean.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was mean.
I can I retract that? Can I pull that back? For guys that are going to be in other uniforms next year.
There you go.
What are we going to call these guys? And can they pull it off and save themselves from the desperate straits that is the worst team in NBA history? We're talking silver and black. That's next. You're on the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, all this talk about CeeDee Lamb and a holdout. Could it possibly be? We got an expert we can ask.
Yeah, Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us at 5:15. And, of course, we'll react to last night's national championship game. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, your joint pain keeping you from doing what you love, then you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics using your own body's power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup. Dr. Scheinkup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call now to learn more about some exciting options in this revolutionary approach to get you long-term relief with no downtime. So what are you waiting for? Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports fantasy act. 3 million players. Yes, I'm a member. You should be too. Download it now and remember the code Alamo, and you can get a deposit match of up to $100. Basketball is balling, baby. Football is coming. Baseball is swinging. It is time to go to Prize Picks because you put your fantasy knowledge into action. You know more. You know your less. You know who's better or not. You know what's going on. You're a fantasy player. Put that knowledge to work. I have, along with so many others. And right now, remember the code Alamo, and you can get a $100 deposit match right now. Go download Prize Picks. We love watching Connor McDavid, Jude Bellingham, LeBron James. They are playing go more or less. It's so easy to do, and now's the time to go. You know when it's more, you know when it's less, and when you pair them together, you can win big, big bucks, up to 100 times your money. More, less, Prize Picks, Alamo. Go there.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly! Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE-certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/CBS to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/CBS and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio.
Thanks, Jim. This is the Morning Huddle. That's RJ Ochoa. I'm Rob Thompson. Glad you're with us. Spurs back to work, though, the season winding down. They're in Memphis tonight. No Keldon tonight. Late word yesterday. He will be out. Let me see exactly the excuse. left foot sprain, suffered in the loss to Philly on Sunday. Tip-off tonight will be at 7 o'clock. Prepare yourselves appropriately. So here we go. This is one of those we look at that's a possible. I wouldn't call it probable, but it's a possible given the way that they've been playing recently. They are playing better. I think they're not playing like one of the worst teams in the NBA. They're certainly not playing like the worst in team history. Right?
I mean, no. But
it's the little things, man.
This is a low bar.
Yes.
They're playing functional basketball, which had not been the case for most of this season. And so in that respect, they've improved.
Well, they have to represent the logo now.
The Wemby
no, not the Wemby, not the Jerry West, but the new Wemby logo. They have to participate in the expansion of a brand that's soon to be worldwide.
Have you looked at the blocks from this season? Just
it's not. He's already got more blocks than Bruce Bowen did in his entire career.
Well, his career at the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
Brook Lopez has 181 blocks. Super respectable. Super impressive. Chet Holmgren has 184. Oh my gosh, what an amazing season. Welcome to the NBA. You are completely and totally living up to the hype, Chet. I mean that objectively.
Ooh, the
Wemby has 245 blocks.
RJ, it is just beyond compare. There's just nothing like it. And when you think about the guys that do this, and you go, oh, well, this is new. They had great nicknames. Dr. J, Magic. The guys that were just different. Michael was just Michael. It became a nickname. He was so different. I don't think Victor's that. LeBron the King. His logo's a crown. What is the alien appropriate? I mean, will it rival Magic?
What's kind of strange is that the alien hasn't ever existed. It's sort of a simplistic name, right? Dr. J is kind of unique.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It might be the best ever.
It might be, but it's somewhat unique. Obviously, you could have been Dr. R. Wouldn't sound as cool, you know what I'm saying? But
no, it doesn't.
No, but all I'm saying is it's a little bit unique to him.
Mm-hmm.
The King, obviously a play on the name James, right? That works out, whatever. The alien is super simplistic. We brought up Kawhi's old logo, the claw, kind of unique. You know what I mean?
Relative to, and it felt like a reach from the get-go.
It was a reach, and then he had to use the K and not the C. You know what I mean? It was just this weird thing. But the alien is this super vague, ambiguous thing. I don't know how, and I feel like at some point at any level of athletics in your life, you've referred to somebody as that. You've referred to somebody as a freak, and you've referred to somebody as an alien. So that this hasn't been a widely marketed thing to this point in NBA history is sort of amazing. And I actually, on the subject of the logo, one of our writers at SBNation.com wrote about this. His name is JP Acosta. And he had a great point that we so often just get logos that are letters, like Kawhi. You know what I mean? It was the forced,
it's the easiest thing. Yeah.
I love that that Wemby's logo, assuming this truly is his logo. I know that is a bit of a leap that we're all making.
It has
right. But I love that it is not like a W,
right?
Or you know what I mean?
That's the easiest way out. That's somebody sitting. That's the new guy at the ad agencies. Figure out something with a W. I've never been impressed with that.
I love how simplistic it is and everything that it says and conveys. I love that the swooshes aren't like arms or hands. It's just it's an emblem. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's a true logo.
Have you ever? No, okay, I appreciate where you're going with this, but all I can think of is the one time in my life I sat down to have a caricature made. I was on a date. And I sat down.
Oh, you're talking to one of these by the Riverwalk drawings of yourself?
Hey, this will be funny. Okay. And I'll never forget the drawing. Well, I looked like some kind of clown. And I was mortified by the picture that was drawn. Because it looked like I was I don't even want to get into it. And I was on a date. I didn't even know this chick, barely knew her. And now this is in perpetuity. I know that when she thinks of me, she thinks of this ridiculous caricature. When I see that logo, does Victor want to be known from now on?
Dude,
this is going to stick, man. Good, bad, or indifferent. You're going to be the alien with an almond head and big, weird eyes. From now on, when I think of you, much like her, in that she will always think of me as this big, giant-headed just thing, you're going to be known as the alien. So you kind of, would you sign off on that when they came to you and said, this is what we're going to tell everybody in the world for the next 20 years, is that you're an alien?
Look at this thing, dude.
Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying you got to live like you are now an alien.
You know what I like about this logo a lot? I like that it's a basketball. I like that it's a
all of
basketball.
It's great, but the acceptance of the fact that from now on, we look at you as some kind of freakish, non-human thing.
I think you're taking this in the most negative way possible. You're being
If he wasn't 7'5" and did appear to be an alien,
what would you prefer? What would you prefer the logo was? That's like focus group it for us.
I'm not the genius, and I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. I'm just saying that when they came to it and said, this is our plan.
You're making it sound like they're trotting out like one of those little aliens you win at Dave & Buster's. You know what I mean? Like a little figurine
you
that's
already
standing.
described
And he's
it,
like,
and we all know what it looks like. You described it to a T, and I agree. It's the alien from Signs. That's what they're copying. That's the way they want to go.
It's so subtle. Like, name off the top of your head, name an NBA player's logo that isn't their letters.
Well, Michael, but
that's the only one. That's the only one you can name of that is not just the letters of their names.
Kind of copied Michael hanging on the rim.
That's not really the same.
You're kind of right. I get where you're going. This is not the
only
easy way
other
out.
one that you can name is Jerry West, and that's not even his logo. You know, so this is a breath of fresh air. It's subtle. It's sleek. It's to the point. It tells you.
Wow, you sound like you're working for Nike. And another thing,
I'm very happy to, if you guys want to, push some product my way, especially some of this Wemby stuff. But if you actually brought an alien to Earth and you said, hey, I want you to look at these logos and tell me, what line of work you think they're in, and you showed them the Air Jordan logo, they'd be like, I don't know. Like, if you didn't know the context of what that, if you didn't know the context of what that was, you would be a little confused. Although he is obviously holding the basketball, but
he's also you get 7'5".
Okay, I'm talking about Jordan's logo.
Oh,
now Wemby's logo is it tells you anything and everything about who he is in the logo. It's basketball, alien. The alien is sort of like dominating the basketball and taking over the basketball. It's got the Nike checks in a very subtle, sleek, sexy way. This logo rocks, and if you don't like it, I am actually going to not be your friend anymore.
About it, and let me tell you,
you can't. You can't come back. You can't come back.
There's been some logos that have come out where I went, nice try. This one I saw it and went, yeah, that's legit. But I was just thinking on the other side of this. That
I think that Wemby, after he vetted through the whole process, is probably okay with being called.
And, by the way, for us to call you the alien, here's the first of hundreds and hundreds of $1 million checks. So for that privilege.
The fact that it was, I love that they went with the corn maze and not, some sort of like outer space star,
they could have gone
constellation.
Kind of I would have had the eclipse with him.
So now you want to be in the marketing team.
I would have had the eclipse with the black hole sun kind of thing, and the alien guy looking around the side like that's what that like just kind of peeking over. Like here's an old reference like Kilroy, and if you know what that means, you're old.
Are you gonna buy? Presuming this is the logo.
What's that?
Presuming it is, because we don't know for certain, but presuming it is, are you going to buy anything with this on it?
Absolutely. I will buy anything Wemby as long as it's not a brown warm-up set.
What are you going to get? We're talking t-shirt, we're talking tank top. It's Tank Top Tuesday. So
well, of course. I mean, you have to ask. The tank top.
We need to come up with some alien related
show the
things.
Pits. The guns out.
The pits was the first thing you went for, not the guns. Interesting.
Well, see, you start with your pits out, and then you get the guns.
Most people say sun's out, guns out. But interesting, and this says a lot about you.
Pits
that
out,
the
pits
first
out.
thing you thought of was, I have to show my pits to people. You know what? On the
well
subject of marketing, why is Kyle Pitts not in line with some sort of deodorant company? You know
or
what
an
I'm saying?
avocado company. I mean, we have questions.
Yeah, exactly. What a great tweet. You could totally work for us at Nike, Rob.
See, you and I, we can form an agency. We can sell some shoes. We can logo it out. And we can go to break at an appropriate time so Edwin, which you guys can't see, would stop doing calisthenics. He is dancing. We're breaking. Hold on tight. We're going to come back talking. What's next in my tiny print? South Carolina. You know, a lot of people saw that game. Did you guys see the numbers? I can't wait to see what happened last night, but I guarantee you at some point there were more people watching a game on Sunday than there were last night. Hold on tight. We're talking about it. College Hoops is done. The spectacular show complete. We'll look back on all that watch next. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. Hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
What drives you? At 303 Car Care, we're driven to put the best detailing products in your hands. We create every formula, fill every bottle, and test every batch of 303 at our Chicago headquarters, always with quality in mind. From cleaners and coatings to our flagship aerospace protectant, you can trust that every 303 product does what the label says it's going to do. That's because 303 is driven by quality. Available at most auto retailers and Amazon.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest style with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
As we wind down the NBA regular season, still time to get in on the action at Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. I love playing the Pick'em game, a fantasy game where you can win real money, and it's legal in Texas. Love playing the Pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players and select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money, and it's certainly a lot of fun to play and adds excitement to watching the silver and black. So go to the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you'll get a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, use my promo code STAR when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride.
120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect pass-through socket set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing your home because great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
Howdy, San Antonio. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're locked on the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Spurs hit the road today. They're in Memphis. Tip at 7. We're talking about it just after 7, but the AM version. Hang around for that. Last night, the world tuned in as the NBA took the night off to watch the men's finish out their season. On Sunday, the world tuned in to watch the ladies, and 18 million folks sat in and watched it. The most watched basketball game of any gender. What, 5 years? 6 years? 5 years?
5 years, since 2019. It peaked at 24.7 million, which is relative to the 2023 title game, an 89% increase. That's the most astounding number to me. An 89% increase. You're talking about almost a 100%, almost a direct double up of increase from a peak standpoint. That's unreal. And again, it is the most watched basketball game, according to ESPN, men's, women's, college, or professional, since 2019. We talked about this yesterday, but it trumps every World Series game since Game 7 of the 2019 World Series. That was the Nationals beating the Astros. Every NBA Finals game since Game 5 of the 2017 NBA Finals.
Wow.
That was, obviously Dubs and Cavs. This was interesting to include every Daytona 500.
You could add those together. Yeah.
Every Masters final round viewership since 2001. And all but 4 college football games in 2023. That I don't want to make this about anything else, but that speaks to how powerful college football is.
Yeah.
That they had to isolate 2023 specifically to pull from. But again, football's a different animal.
The magnitude of the event mattered, and Gino Auriemma, it wasn't a moving screen, but now you see why. There are bigger things at play.
Embarrassing.
I wonder how many tuned in last night. I'm interested to see the numbers. It's going to be close. Hey, the Spurs might not have any viewers, but us valiant types were hanging in. Are they the worst in history? We'll talk about that and how they're going to pull it off minus the other dudes. Spurs talk next. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
This is the Morning Huddle with Robin RJ. Morning 6 to 10, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com. Hi, it's Jason Minix from The Blitz. Did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656 Pure Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome this Sunday as they take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. Let's pack the dome and join the herd in the best seats at the best prices, now starting at $15.50. Led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips and quarterback Chase Garbers. Experience the excitement. Head to theUFL.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. It's the Brahmas versus the Battlehawks Sunday. Kickoff in the Dome is at 2. Get your tickets now at theUFL.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs are back in action tonight. They're in Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. Victor Wembanyama will go at it alone as the big three are also out for injury. We have a new national champion. The one shining moment belonged to the Utica Huskies as they beat Purdue 75-60. They are back-to-back champions.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Wembanyama three. Goes behind the back here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama.
Oh, it's knocked away by Wembanyama. This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. With Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, huddle up. We got a bunch to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. Every day at 7 a.m., we do the same. We're glad you're with us. We talk silver and black. Make sure you are subscribed to the appropriate channels there and liking on the regular basis and sharing with friends and family and those that you love. Spurs just about done. They're in Memphis tonight. I will say this, and I can't get it off my mind, and I'm going to be thinking about it until draft day. I don't know how the Spurs can manufacture this, but I want them to go get Zach Edey. I do. I'm going to stay on this as we look at what we're going to see tonight with the Spurs, minus Keldon, who's got his sprained foot that he's been dealing with the last couple of weeks. He hurt it again on Sunday against the Sixers in that, defensive struggle against Tyrese Maxey. I want Zach Edey and the defense. I know that he got wore out last night, and, by the end of the game, he was, just exhausted. But for a brief shining moment there in the first half, I saw the potential. So when we think the Spurs tonight in Memphis, they're going to go up against a team of Jaren Jackson and not a lot of tall dudes. Defensive-minded guards, no Ja Morant. I mean, they're kind of dealing with their own issues, but all I can think of is the defense that Edey could add. The weakest link in the Spurs is their horrific defense. He isn't a number 1 pick. He's not even a top 10 pick, but he is the kind of pick the kind of player that, man, as this season is done, and I go, is there immediate help anywhere in college? I look at that cat and I go, you know what? I see what Wemby's doing, and you brought it up earlier, RJ. The number of blocks. Well, double that.
I don't think you can double that.
Well, what I'm saying is double that potential and put that out on the court and literally say the only way you're ever going to beat us is shoot 40% from 3, because that's what you're going to have to do.
That's true, and that's possible, certainly in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, I would welcome it. I'm not ready to move heaven and earth to make this reality happen the way that you are. You're ready to sell your soul.
In this lousy draft, I'm like,
I think you're diluting the draft too much. Just because it's not a great class doesn't mean it's worthless. And so, that's the point we're at. Again, he can totally offer something, but I almost am at a place where I don't want to, dilly-dally around and experiment with Zach Edey, and can he be an NBA player while we're in the middle of this peak window, while the alien is here?
And it is an interesting time to be alive because we do get to see the reformation of something special. We thought we had begun it before, we hadn't. Now we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now we have a pretty firm grasp of who Victor is and what he wants to be and how he wants to play and how he wants to be coached and the way he travels and all those things that matter when you're putting together the pieces of a cohesive team. So now we have an idea, and you look at a guy like Edey, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And they are in a situation where I heard Don say it yesterday, Don Harris on News 4. Well, yes, they're fighting to avoid the infamy of the worst team in franchise history. But the teams that they were fighting with were so bad by now. They were, last year by now, the Spurs were a difficult watch. I mean, yikes. This year, at least they're better. They're better than their record. They really are. They're
at this point in the season.
Yes, by their play, and they're playing against teams that are as god awful as the Spurs have ever been. So a lot of these are gimme games. But the fact of the matter is, they're not playing so terribly that you're looking at the third or fourth pick, which is where the Spurs are imminent, and you go, God, is there any help? Because we kind of have an idea where the help needs to be. The kind of help we need, not just anything coming off the assembly line is perfect because we got nothing else, which has been kind of like the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. This
year, we can be very persnickety and very, very, pinpoint exactly what we're chasing because we know where we're at. And with that, you go, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. There is no superstar in this draft. You got some that are going to be ready sooner than others. You got some briskets and you got some steaks. Which one are you chasing? But the Spurs look to be aiming toward a brisket. I'd rather have a steak.
I would rather have a steak, but if your version of a steak is Zach Edey,
I'm just talking draft. I'm not talking free agency where you can go get it, but in the draft, a brisket, I don't want to wait anymore. Alex Sarr ain't going to be crap for 3 years. He's just not.
I know that you're talking only draft, but you can't just do that. And I know you know that.
Yeah.
The context of the whole conversation really matters. And so everything about from now on, we're done ordering brisket for a very, very, very long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
we no longer, we're getting rid of the slow cooker. We're throwing out all the crock pots. We're getting rid of the smokers. We just want George Foreman grills in this house. We want Ninja grills. We want food ready instantly.
Microwaves, man.
Exactly. That's where we're at. That's the template that we are kind of living and thriving in for the next, hopefully, 15 years.
And you're right. I'm not dead against this Sarr kid. I'm not. I think the guy's got a lot of skill, but he kind of brings to the table a lot of what we already got, and that's pretty devastating.
I mean, you just have a crush. Well, and you really want to find a way to get Zach specific.
Well, you know why? I'll tell you, and it's not Zach specific, because I'm still an old head when it comes to basketball. I am, and I'm not opposed to the modern with things changing, but I do know, just like when shameless plug, when I talked with Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, the first time I sat down with him, he was like, I'm not going to BS you. To lose weight, it's less calories than you burn, more than you take in. That's at the end of the day. That's it. It's not a hard formula. It's just how we adapt your life to do that. Basketball is the winning formula is pretty basic. Get more rebounds, make more shots. Okay. One or the other or both. You're going to win. And how do you manufacture that? Well, have guys that are so close to the rim, it's hard for them to miss. That's still tried and true. And if I can go get another 7-footer who likes it in the paint, who isn't asking for anything other than a couple of crumbs and a high pick and roll, and I can pair that with a Victor Wembanyama, and I can get him for pennies for a late first rounder, it just seems to me not a lot of teams are in the situation that the Spurs are. And I like the idea of that. Sarr could be exactly like Wemby, and we have it on both sides of the court and can be mobile and blocking shots too. But I like the big anchor. I'm an old head, and I like what I saw last night. I loved the game last night because it was the way basketball God intended it to be. No, I'm kidding.
But I think that what last night is representative of is that, UConn let it be the Zach Edey show. And Purdue lost, and they lost handily.
Not enough others. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, you can very easily diffuse. Now, you put Zach on the same floor as Wemby, and it's obviously a different conversation.
Think about it's not David and Tim. It's not. But think of the defensive kind of, oh my gosh, back at what it was like back in 99 and 2000 when you rolled in and you knew that night you had David and Tim, 7-footers out there. Both of them love to block a shot. They do it in different ways. And you had to defend 2 posts and 2 power forwards all night long. It was impossible. And then they were good together. And I just envision that because they were 2 different types. Timmy was the big, back to the basket, like the moves, like the drop step, like the bounce pass, like the bank shot. Tim was David was always the modern version, man. He liked to face the basket. He liked to go downhill. He liked to come from the weak side and block a shot. And damn, the alley-oops were beautiful. Well, I see that, and I see Victor in the role of David, not in the same offense, but in the same style, playing downhill, using that given beauty. And then you put a lamppost in the middle of the paint. And your defensive issues, the Spurs are so god-awful. You build in not safety nets, you build in walls behind you. Yeah, you get beat off the dribble. Well, take it. The only way you're going to beat us is threes. You can dribble all to the paint all you want.
I think
it's possible. It's possible. Forgive me. On the day after the season is done, let me bask in this gravy that was greatness last night.
It isn't even gravy. It's the leftover part of the chicken fried steak that after you're done with the meal, like the leftover breading.
No, man, he was in the first
He
quarter.
was awesome, Rob, but he was awesome in the NCAA tournament. And you're talking about an entirely different world at this point.
I understand. And Claymore, a good listener, great comments always, brought something up on the Brigade Bar a minute ago. And he's right. He is a spot player. He is a 20-minute, 25-minute night a guy. That's what he'll be. And there's not a lot of teams that can afford to spend the capital on a guy like that because they need a starting post to do all those things. Well, we already got a guy on the court. And if you time the minutes out right, and have them in at appropriate times, it would be a thing of beauty. I don't want to waste a high draft pick on him, though.
You're over here like, if you time the minutes right, and if you do it exactly the way that it needs to be done, and if if the solar eclipse is happening that particular day, then it can totally work.
No, we're talking. Isn't that? I'm not talking about some sort of extreme rocket science formula to make it work together. I'm just acknowledging the obvious. Wemby only he's averaged some more minutes as the season has gone on. But Wemby's a bit of an Iron Man. That guy doesn't get a lot of rest. He has to get his wind at the free throw line and waiting for rebounds. So they're both capable. But I know what a guy like that for peak effort, you're only going to get it about 8 minutes at a spurt. And you're going to have to sit him down for a while. And with those rotations, you're probably only going to get him for 20, 25 minutes a game. That
sounds horrible.
No,
I mean, that sounds.
But we act like every first-round draft pick is a hit. And they're not.
But they're also not lottery tickets that just burn on the hot flavor of the moment.
I think the Spurs are past best player available, and it's now finding the guy that fits. And that's where I
no
think
way.
that,
How can you possibly say that?
Because that's what the draft has to be. The real meat's coming in free agency. Yes, a draft is a 3-4 hour prospect. We just talked about it. And they're not going to go get the steak because Zach Edey is not good enough for where the Spurs are drafted. And I don't think they're going to move down, and not going to try to get him at 4. That'd be stupid. But what I'm saying is I like the idea of a big dude like that. And if you're going to go get Alex Sarr, who's a 7'1" mobile Wemby, that's great. But we just talked about it. It's going to be 4 years. So if I'm going to get somebody that's just going to fall off the apple cart and I'm not going to have to pay much, I'd almost trade out of that position because we're going to have to wait for Sarr. He's not going to be ready in the time frame that we hope to have Wemby ready because everybody's telling us, including Wendy and all the guys that know, suddenly we're on fast forward.
There's a lot of declarations happening here. that Sarr isn't going to be ready, and the presumption here is that Edie is going to be like ready now.
Well, the thing is, I know what
Edie can land in the NBA and compete with the bigs that we see dominate. The bigs that dominate Wemby as is. Embiid worked Wemby, and you're confident that Zach Edey can come in and hang on for the ride.
Because he's a different player. Yes, I do think Edey is a far more appropriate player to guard a guy like Embiid, a guy like Joker, than Wemby is, because he is a space heater. He takes up space and forces the other post to utilize other space. And that's the way you defend these guys, because you're not going to just D them up. They're too good, but make them go places and be places where they're not comfortable. And that's all you can hope for. And if you got a guy that's 7'4", that you ain't going to muscle out of the paint, and I know that's going to happen tomorrow. He is that big and that dominant. That will move directly into the NBA. You know why I know that? Did you see what Walker Kessler did from Auburn a couple of years ago? Walked into Utah, had a 20-rebound game. He couldn't hold Edey's jock. So that style is possible in this day and age.
I think you're just trying to build the Spurs a very specific way.
Yes, I am.
But that's like you're purposefully putting tunnel vision on yourself. That this cannot be about that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I completely disagree with the notion that the Spurs are in a position to now, like, just add the finishing touches. That they're just, they can go carve out the exact role that Zach Edey provides. They have nothing of note to work with outside of Wemby. They have some things that we like. Obviously, Keldon and Devin have proven their worth, and Jeremy, and those are ancillary parts that can totally be used in certain capacities. But they are not in a position in any kind of way at any point in the draft to just, draft this dude that might play this serviceable role 25 minutes a night. Like that's a rich man's kind of problem that the Spurs are not in the position to have themselves.
I completely disagree with the way that you analogize this, because the way I look at it, that I know exactly what Zach Edey is. This isn't messing around. I don't have to forecast that if he grows into his body, he's going to be this. This is him, and this will be him for the next 8 years.
At the college level. That's a very different thing.
What he does will translate, man. I've got precedent. I've seen it happen with guys that play the same game but aren't nearly as good. I'm talking about the 2-time Naismith Player of the Year who was successful in the crucible of the tournament finally. But last year he was not. This year he made it through the Big Ten, through the tournament as the focus. 3 dudes hanging on him, and he kept coming. It just showed me that he's NBA ready. Is he going to be a superstar? Never. Will he be a functional NBA player for a decade? Yes. And if you can find that in the first round, you draft it. Now, maybe not in the first 5-8 picks, but in this year's draft, which some GMs call literally the worst in NBA history, beauty is in the eye of the beholder now. There ain't nobody people preaching saying if you pass on him, you're going to get fired. Now's the time where GMs are made.
To go.
At 20th,
he is projected
25th?
to go somewhere. So CBS has him going 22nd to the Pelicans. USA Today has him going 26th to the Wizards. Bleacher Report has him going 30th to the Celtics. NBA Draft on Net has him going 37th to the Grizzlies. And you're over here saying like, oh man, this is the franchise-changing presence to show up and pair with Wemby.
How many other guys in this draft are, though? What I'm saying is if there was a preeminent
clearly
dude, I go,
at least 20. At least 20 dudes are more valuable.
This is matchmakers. What we're looking at now is an old grandmother going, he's handsome, she needs a husband. Let's put those two together. This doesn't take into account a personality, needs, things that fit. The one thing the Spurs have that nobody in this draft has is a clear idea of where they're going. And everything they do from now on has to match what we now know Wemby to be. We didn't know that last year. Now we know. So we have the freedom of going, this is what fits, whether we get it through the draft or we get it through the free agency, whatever we're going. We know there is some benefit to knowing this is where we're going, and we know what hasn't worked, which sadly might involve some of the guys that aren't playing tonight.
I respect that you have a crush. I really do. And I'm really happy for you. It's an enthralling emotion to kind of be in the middle of, and it's springtime, you know what I mean? You hear certain songs, you think of Zach. You see certain things, you think of Zach. You taste certain foods, you think of Zach. Baby. And I'm happy for you that you're experiencing this emotional ride. But the best decisions are never made under emotional compromise. I mean, you are this is a cute thing that you're in the middle of, but I think you just need to take a breath. You know what I mean? You need a sip of water.
You mark my words. Mark my words. He won't do it as a Spur because, unfortunately, they're not in a position to get him. But if they were, or whoever does get him, he will. He's either going to be Taco Fall, which I think he's better than Taco Fall. Offensively, he's got more. Or he's going to be, for a brief shining moment, kind of like what Boban was for the first couple of years in his career.
So let's chase the brief shining moment, and let's hope the brief shining moment aligns with the timeline that the Spurs are in. What a foolproof strategy.
In hindsight, you pull a Boban out of the first round, you're a happy GM. I'm not kidding. Look at who the Spurs have taken with the lottery picks. Lonnie Walker is barely hanging on in the league. I mean, first round is after the top 3 or 4 is a crapshoot. So, and that's when you have a defined hierarchy of goodness to greatness where it is obvious. There's no question who the top 2 or 3 picks are. This year, it is a crapshoot. It is so bad for the draft that all you ever see now is Euros in the top 4 or 5 because they're not quantifiable. There's not one dude out there that is so obvious. There's not. So if it's nobody and somebody from CBS is telling you number 1, but somebody from Fox is that same dude as 8, who the hell are you to tell me who to draft? Nobody.
I think that you need to cool off.
I hope Mr. Wright and Mr. Buford are listening on the way in, as I'm sure they are.
You need to cool off, and you need to take a breath. And if you still feel the same way after that, okay. You might come back and say, yeah, I was a little in the moment.
And
that's
Jason,
okay.
You're right. And at the end of the day, Jason Mahey on the Brigade Bar hit it on the head. A true center would truly immensely help the Spurs. A guy that's job is in the paint. It doesn't have to be Edie.
Absolutely.
He's just the guy in front of me. That's the guy, Mr. Wright, Mr. Buford. Those are the guys.
That all hinges on what you want to do with Wemby, as we've discussed many times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to play him at the 5, and do you want to just have that kind of be your? Well, I mean, it's still an option.
I'd rather him do that, but it's not going to happen.
Right. So if he's staunchly opposed to that, then this becomes a world that you have to legitimately explore. So there is still a little bit of uncovering in that process that's involved here. But other than that, okay.
Dominic Barlow is an adequate dude, though. I will give him some love. That guy has earned some time. More with the Spurs.
Spurs are 3.5-point favorites tonight.
I like it. I think the Spurs are going to get it tonight. Again, we're going to prove something, and I don't have enough of a sample size to figure out why. But I think we're going to get another night of a team looking very free-flowing on offense, cohesive, and that it's going to lead to some turnovers, but it's led to some fun offense. I think we're going to see more of that. And Devontae Graham, man. The guy's been a revelation the last couple of weeks. I can't wait to see him play again as he tries to round himself out for a next season contract. Hey, we're always talking Spurs, and you ever have anything to say about it, it's easy to. You can reach out to us on our YouTube feed. That Brigade Bar is something special, and if you got something to say, easy there, or you can call us 656-3776, 656-ESPN to you and me. Coming back, let's talk about what we saw last night. Keep this in mind as we go to break. There has not been an NCAA championship won in basketball west of the Mississippi for men since 95? Baylor's been the farthest west we've gone. Northeast basketball rules yet again. Why? And is Bobby Hurley the best coach in all the sports going? And how did that happen?
Danny Hurley.
Danny and Bobby. Bobby, had his turn. We're talking Hurley's coming around the corner, 3 of them, and some championships. Hey, man, last night was fun. Let's get into it. You're on The Huddle, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Mission's opening night is here, and it's not just any Tuesday. It's AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Bring the whole family and catch all the action for just $2. Gates open at 6, first pitch at 7:05. Visit samissions.com for tickets and details.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. You know, if you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it. And at the same time, I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports fantasy act. 3 million players. Yes, I'm a member. You should be too. Download it now and remember the code Alamo, and you can get a deposit match of up to $100. Basketball is balling, baby. Football is coming. Baseball is swinging. It is time to go to Prize Picks because you put your fantasy knowledge into action. You know more. You know your less. You know who's better or not. You know what's going on. You're a fantasy player. Put that knowledge to work. I have, along with so many others. And right now, remember the code Alamo, and you can get a $100 deposit match right now. Go download Prize Picks. We love watching Connor McDavid, Jude Bellingham, LeBron James. They are playing go more or less. It's so easy to do, and now's the time to go. You know when it's more, you know when it's less, and when you pair them together, you can win big bucks, up to 100 times your money. More, less, Prize Picks, Alamo. Go there.
Nigel, what's up with your hair?
Joel, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all quarter moon 14-seer AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house for only $69.99. Now is the ideal time to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joel, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743458.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Wake up with the Morning Huddle.
Huddle up. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. Check him out. That's RJ Ochoa. Just take one good look at him. See him on our YouTube feed. Go there quickly. Hurry. Like the golf shirt today, RJ. Who you repping?
This is Canyon Springs Golf Course.
Fancy. I find I can't wear white polos very often. I have to save those. I can't have those.
When I was in 6th grade, our band at school, you had to wear white pants. It's a really difficult thing, I imagine, to tell parents. Like, go get a pair of white pants for your 12-year-old.
That's a bad idea. Like white carpet.
And one day after school, I spilt a bottle of Red Flash on my pants, and
I'm sure that didn't suck.
And I've never had white pants. I've never had white pants since, and so it's been a long time since I thought about Red Flash.
A lot, right? Quite.
Yeah,
right there. A good time in the life of RJ Ochoa. No middle scars with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some stories told. The win last night kind of cemented what, we know in basketball, there are certain places where basketball thrives and certain places where football thrives. And football thrives in the Southeast. That's where from Texas to Florida to Georgia to South Carolina up into North Carolina, it stops about Oklahoma. There's some decent football played elsewhere, but that's really where it is. You're looking for Heisman trophies. You're looking for NFL players. They're coming out of about 15 states. And in basketball, while you're going to see superstars in Texas and high school quality ball all over the place, for whatever reason, the Northeast is still the home. It is still where basketball is played, where players are recruited to. Keep in mind, starting guard for UConn out of El Paso, Tristan Newton. He went Northeast. There's something about it. And the Big East, a basketball conference. That's 2 consecutive years that a basketball conference has thrived in the tournament. Just throwing that out there.
We talked about it yesterday. If you could be like the badass of a college basketball program, UConn's kind of the one to do it at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the most traditional from a conference standpoint. And it's a blue blood. It's basketball royalty. And Danny Hurley's kind of like living, I know they used to, like, if you played a video game, if there was a video game to be a college basketball coach, Danny Hurley's kind of doing it, right?
Yeah.
Basketball royalty, incredibly famous and successful father, brother, obviously, and he gets to win the title, not in his brother's home building, but I mean, effectively his brother's home building, obviously. Yeah. And, has the highest point differential ever in an NCAA tournament, goes back to back, was incredibly brash about it the entire time. There's something cool in sports to calling your shot and actually underscoring how badly you're going to destroy somebody. I mean, just, round after round after round after round, not even in the tournament, obviously, just regular season, Big East, the entire time they were inevitable. They are Thanos. And he's there. Like, Jay Wright was kind of like glowing affectionately for him. He's kind of surpassed Jay Wright. I mean, at this point, name a more successful coach than Danny Hurley in the last 20 years in college basketball.
Well,
maybe Coach K.
2 in a row.
And that's it.
It's hard to argue. But there's something about Hurley that does represent the modern. And I like the comparison with Jay Wright, because Jay Wright's kind of a bridge guy. He's been around long enough to be one of the old head Coach K, Roy Williams era, the Izzo's, the ones that's winding down. That's just about done when Izzo finally retires. Jay Wright was right in the middle of the Boeheim, all those guys, and he kind of transitioned, and then he left after a couple of titles. Hurley's a young guy, and the comparisons with him and Harbaugh from Michigan, now San Diego, it's hard to escape because they both put together programs that were so much bigger than the players there.
Mm-hmm.
Even at Michigan, when you think of Harbaugh, there's no one guy that sticks out. It wasn't a guy that carried him. It was Harbaugh.
Well, I think to your point, Hurley, the only one that sticks out is JJ McCarthy, but because he was, but he was kind of like chosen by Harbaugh as the like face of the program. You know what I'm saying? And that's where Danny Hurley, he's kind of got that going on with Klingon a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of like,
guy,
but yet I'm saying he's kind of like knighted him as the face
and it
from the player standpoint.
It could have been anybody. But everybody on that team is really, really good. So much so that it's hard to separate to be the great one, because everybody around you can do their job so well. You don't got to do anything other than your job. You don't have to be a superstar. You just got to be a cog in the machine. And that's what Harbaugh and Hurley have put together, programs that are this machine that they create pros. And I thought it was very interesting when I heard Danny postgame. They go, well, talk about the success and why. He goes, well, first thing is we recruit NBA players. Well, I don't think of UConn as an NBA factory, but they are. But they're not superstars. They're just dudes that show up and go to work for 15 years. There's a lot of Rudy Gays running around the NBA.
When you think UConn basketball?
Well, Ray Allen is still.
No, but so he's the one you think of,
still,
like the first.
Yeah, he started this whole thing. It's Ray. Now, there's been the Kemba. I mean, it's hard to get past Kemba's run.
I think Kemba would be a lot of people's answer.
Yeah,
just
from
a visibility. Yeah, exactly. My answer though, Rip Hamilton.
And that's right in the middle of those.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's weird how, but like you think to your point, you think about those eras. Those are three different kind of eras, and those are the names that come to mind. But in 20 years, people will look back and remember that 23-24 run that UConn had. Danny Hurley. That's the difference. It's a really interesting time. Some of that is Kevin Ollie, not like the most like pizzazzy kind of coach.
Well, a little problem, a little bit of.
I mean, right, but I mean, there is, and that's what Danny Hurley gets. I think at the college level, it's a very, very, very fine line to walk. But if you have I don't want to call it a caricature, but if you have an almost caricature element and quality to your style, that can shine through, and then that can become the culture. And Harbaugh had that, right? Like Harbaugh had this kind of culture, and we even saw with the suspension issue, like that became like this, catalyst for what Michigan became as the season went along. So when you become the front man of it all, some coaches try this and fail spectacularly. I think your boy Calipari's kind of like the most recent example.
I think the comparisons between those two are perfect. Keep going.
Well, so some coaches try to become the face of a program and fail. I mean, and some coaches have it thrusted upon them and fail. I would put Jimbo in that kind of boat, and some of that was even out of the control of Jimbo. Like just the contract of it all makes you the center of the conversation. But Danny Hurley, he grabbed that mantle. And I love that Danny Hurley, as a sports fan, said, this is a historic place. I want to be a tremendous part of it. I want to write my chapter, and I want to do it for my players, whatever, and my son, and all this different stuff. Like what he has done there is one of the most impressive things we've seen in sports in the last 20 years.
It's the game itself. The motherland is up there, and it represents where the game is right now to be successful is the Hurley formula. Bigger than the team, it's Hurley. And when Coach K, and we can name the greats, when they became great, that's what it was. It was Duke basketball. And oh, by the way, this year they've got Christian Laettner. Next year is Cherokee Park. I mean, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And they were not always superstars. There was always one. There was always one on all those teams, but it was more about this is what we do and this is how we do it. And you just sense that in UConn. And there's no reason, and you got to throw Bama in there, that this is what we do and this is how we do it. Can you live up to our standards? And it didn't matter the name on the back. It was the same guy year after year after year. And it's the kind of thing that sustains. It just will. In the age of the portal, in the age of the money, the thing that sustains is the program. And at the end of the day, that was Calipari's undoing, because he still relied on the talent. He had to go get the next number 1, number 2, number 3 pick next year to maintain that. And once there was more money involved, the talent, which he overweighed with the program, wasn't there. And now he's at Arkansas. That's the fundamental difference. The program needs to be the coach and the players fit. It can't be the players and the coach fit that, because it's too transient.
And the coach has to be adaptable to the times. The way Danny Hurley, again, was asked about his son, obviously, asked about a lot of things. And he's made this joke before. So, Danny, maybe get some new material. But either way, he said, yeah, I think he's going to enter the portal. And he was like the only person who laughed. But my point is, he's willing to joke about these things. He's willing to lean into all this. He's willing to, kind of understand the times and the environment that he's currently in. Coaches like Calipari aren't. And coaches like Calipari not only aren't willing to adapt, but they actually want to actively complain. You think about the mass exodus we've seen from the old school coaches in college football, And it's just, I don't want to call it fear or whatever, because if you want to walk away, then go ahead, enjoy your life. And if you want to, admit that this isn't for you anymore, then that's okay, because it's an incredibly difficult world to navigate. Not everybody's cut out for it, obviously. But to blame it, to act like, well, we used to be the best at recruiting until everybody else all of a sudden had advantages that we were only afforded. And so that's where, good luck, Arkansas.
they're going to be fine. Arkansas will be just fine.
We'll see about that. I mean, they do have all that money that Calipari thought was so evil, apparently, whatever, while in Lexington. But, 24 hours ago, I thought Danny Hurley to Kentucky made some sense. If they threw a bag at him.
And they're going to have to. They will.
But they have built their own Kentucky. I don't even want to say built. I mean,
it's better.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, Kentucky.
It's so interesting that they've taken this perennial thing, because all the blue bloods that we know in college basketball in modern times are all built around the same kind of foundations. Duke is Coach K, right? Like you can't think of a Duke era without him that is successful. And even Kentucky with Calipari in terms of modern times. You can think of a lot, as we just did, a lot of eras of UConn basketball that have been really, really, really successful. And so it's cool to see the legacy that continues to grow and to evolve there. And no other program has found a way to recapture magic in a new and modern way.
He talked about being a caretaker. There was already a legacy here. I just got here and had to just prolong what Coach Calhoun began, 30, 40 years ago that everybody looked up to, and he just had to grab it. And as you look at who fills the legacy at Kentucky, it's going to be a big name. There's remember when Saban and they, it was all these guys, and finally it was DeBoers, and somebody filled that job, and then we had the Phil. This has already said no, but I don't think it's done. This is going to happen fast because recruiting. I cannot wait to see what happens over the next 2 or 3 days.
I commend Nate Oates for saying what he had to and
it ain't
felt
over
compelled to say. But we've seen a lot of coaches say a lot of things. Well, I'll believe you when there's somebody else who's been reported by Pete Thamel.
Well, I'll tell you this. If we don't hear a name in the next 3 days, the guy's coming from the pros.
Interesting. Wow.
They've got
Rob Thompson reporting that Pop is leaving the Spurs to go.
Next challenge, right? Next challenge. There are worse places to be than the head coach at the University of Kentucky. We're
like watching the eclipse yesterday.
They'll be blowing it up. And you know what? Let's talk about the eclipse. Because even though it was cloudy with a chance of meatballs, it was a spectacular event, the likes of which I'm glad I participated. Did you? Let's talk about it on the other side. Hey, what'd you see? How'd you see it? Let's talk eclipse. The black hole sun came and went, and we won't see it again, most of us. This is 94.1, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star. The Connecticut water softened shower that I stepped out of this morning was particularly gratifying. I was up too late last night waiting for my one shining moment. I start my day every day with a Connecticut shower. I don't think about it as a Connecticut shower. I just think about it as the water coming out of there is perfect for me in my house. I know the water that's coming through the shower head, it's not leaving a bunch of sediment in my pipes, and it's not leaving anything on my skin and my mouth and my dog's dish or on my dishes. It is clean, clear, perfect water all the time. And then, again, it only works when I work. You don't even plug that sucker in. It works off kinetic energy. I don't understand it. I just know it works. Saves me salt, saves my pipes. It's the best thing that I've done for my house. Why haven't you done it? And if you haven't, remember this number, 656 PURE. That spells pure, and that's what I've got. You should get it too. If you'll dial 656 PURE, the good folks at Connecticut will come out to your house, put a Connecticut in your home for 90 days without asking you for a penny. No commitment. Find out what I know, what I'm talking about. It's the best water softener for you. It's the best you can get down here in South and Central Texas. It's designed in the United States. It's the most efficient water softener in the country. The Water Purity Association told us that. Call them today. Get one. Get all the details at ConnecticutSA.com. I got a Connecticut. You should get a Connecticut because your neighbor's got one. Call them today. Thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, all this talk about CeeDee Lamb and a holdout. Could it possibly be? We got an expert we can ask.
Yeah, Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us at 5:15. And, of course, we'll react to last night's national championship game. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
With Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,000 off select laundry appliances from top brands like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. And with convenient shopping in-store and online, you can get new appliances with smart, intuitive features any way you want. Like a new LG wash combo all-in-one that can run a full load in under 2 hours. Right now, get $1,000 off select laundry appliances with Spring Black Friday savings in-store. How doers get more done.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Missions opening night is here, and it's not just any Tuesday. It's AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Bring the whole family and catch all the action for just $2. Gates open at 6, first pitch at 7:05. Visit samissions.com for tickets and details.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
With Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,000 off select laundry appliances from top brands like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. And with convenient shopping in-store and online, you can get new appliances with smart, intuitive features any way you want. Like a new LG wash combo all-in-one that can run a full load in under 2 hours. Right now, get $1,000 off select laundry appliances with Spring Black Friday savings in-store and online at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, we survived it. The great eclipse of 24. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1. That's RJ. He's not sunburnt from the eclipse. Neither am I. Northwest side of town, right there around Fiesta, Texas, is cloudy. Didn't see much. And for one brief shining moment, the clouds parted. And I mean no pun there. The clouds parted. and I couldn't get my camera up fast enough to take the picture of the black hole sun that I witnessed. But I did, in fact, see it with my naked eye. I stared at it. Didn't know it was coming. It shocked me. But I understand that once it was full, whatever, you could look at it. But yeah, it's sat and cloudy. But the darkness, man, that's some trippy stuff, man. It was underwhelming and to what you were saying. I think I was reading that the Hill Country had a nice turnout, but it wasn't throngs of people. It wasn't nuts like they were. They had like one way into Kerrville and one way out. I don't think at the end of the day that was necessary because people looked at the weather report and said, "Well, it's cloudy there. If I'm desperate to see it, I'm gonna go someplace where it's not."
So you mean to tell me?
But there was $1 billion. I bet there was. At the end of the day, no, seriously. If you looked at all the towns where there was,
do you know how much $1 billion is?
Yes, but I also know that there were at least 50 million people that were affected by the eclipse in totality. So I think that there was some money spent on glasses and on beer and on hotel rooms and on all the things that went on. I do believe it happened. It was a communal event. And if you watch the news, there were a lot of people down. It was not just this passing thing. People did stop. And all the numbers show it. The phone usage was down. Internet usage was down. All the things that show people were not busy doing anything but looking up for about an hour.
I'm not denying that people enjoyed it and that people found it to be cool. But the idea that $1 billion was going to be generated as a result of this.
By the way, I have a gross of glasses that I'm trying to unload. If you'd like to meet me in the parking lot of the Bernie police station later, I'll sell you a case of glasses.
You can recycle these, and I don't know where, so apologies, but they are recyclable.
Recyclable.
For the purposes of people around the world utilizing them when it's their turn for eclipses, because that's the way that the world works, rotates, and the sun and the moon and everything like that.
Well, we don't have another one for some time.
You think that this hadn't happened since dinosaurs roamed the earth? It does happen pretty frequently.
Oh,
so you can recycle your glasses, and people in who knows.
So
where
they're going to get the glasses of like I will send them my eclipse glasses, and they're going to get the Purdue National Championship T-shirts. Is that
basically
they'll get
exactly
the same box?
Kind of what we're looking at here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll send them the great eclipse of 23 and 24.
Super Bowl.
Niners Super Bowl and Purdue. And Caitlin's number one. Iowa did it T-shirts.
Yeah.
So we won't. Well, at least there's some kind of recycling going on out there. We're going to ask a very important question as we go to break, and we're going to try to figure out the answer. What the hell is going on in Jerry's brain?
Oh, I'd rather stare into the sun without the glass.
CeeDee Lamb may or may not show up for any of the scheduled practices between now and August, and we'll tell you why. It's stupid yet again. More Cowboys cheese may. Do we have a novella name for the Cowboys offseason? We need to find one. We're talking silver and blue coming around the bend. We're glad you're with us this morning. Happy Tuesday. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. If you're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. If they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Diamonds Direct spring sale starts this weekend. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. It's the best store-wide sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's right, 20% savings plus an extra $100 off. Also enjoy an expanded selection of the latest styles with designer appearances each weekend. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday and open this Sunday as well. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Are you ready to party with a purpose? Taste of the Northside is Thursday, April 18th at the beautiful Security Service Event Center. This elevated fiesta event for foodies includes on-site covered parking, entertainment, unlimited tastings from over 30 premier restaurants, countless curated wines and craft beers, hosted by Brighton Center, presented by HEB. Purchase tickets at tasteofthenorthside.org. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center, the largest nonprofit in San Antonio serving children with disabilities through pediatric therapy and education initiatives.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/CBS to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
As much as we do, visit leaffilter.com/CBS and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We have our one shining moment. It was UConn cutting the nets down as they beat Purdue 75-60. It is their second straight NCAA Men's National Championship. Zach Edey in the losing effort had 30 points. The Spurs get busy again tonight. They're taking on the Memphis Grizzlies on the road. A tip will be at 7 p.m.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, everybody, huddle up, grab a knee. We got some things to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. Look to the right of your screen. You will see RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. He's busy manifesting abundance. I'm Rob Thompson, preaching my truth, and the Easy E on the other side of the glass has a whip and a chain, trying to keep this thing on the rails. We're glad you're with us on a Tuesday morning. Here we sit, national champions crown. The college basketball world looks up at UConn and South Carolina. Any parting shots for this season's NCAA basketball?
Thanks for the good times. It was a lot of fun. A lot of incredible memories. And, you know, I kind of hate you for putting the imprint of Zach Edey in Rob Thompson's brain that he won't let go of.
Just saying. Just think of the defense. The defense would be extraordinary. I don't think Zach can do a lot of things. I don't think he could defend CeeDee Lamb on a post. He could probably take him on the middle and, any kind of those zone routes, those little pick and plant moves. Put Edey out there, Big Z. Good defend. CeeDee Lamb may or may not show up for any of these scheduled Cowboy activities between now and the kickoff. And it kind of begs the question, should he? I mean, I wouldn't. RJ, why are we waiting? Why would Jerry wait other than knowing, worst case scenario, I'll just franchise him. He'll bellyache, but he'll show up eventually.
There isn't a logical reason to wait, to be very clear. But the answer that you're seeking is probably that they're pretty bad at this and they don't know what they're doing. Now, a lot of people want to point out Justin Jefferson hasn't been signed either. But, if that's the team that you're getting compared to right now, then that really speaks poorly on your franchise as a whole. The Vikings are in a bit of a state of change, and Justin Jefferson presumably wants to understand who his quarterback is and who he's signing up to work with for the life of whatever extension he's going to sign with the team is. CeeDee Lamb should have those answers.
Should he? Does he?
Well, think about this. I don't know who would be a younger than CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons superstar for the Cowboys. Let's use Tyler Smith as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're Tyler Smith now, Rob. So put yourself in that mindset.
All right.
You know all the spots.
No, that's
you know all this. Yeah, you know all the spots in Tulsa for us to eat at. So that being said, the Cowboys are about to ask you to play left tackle. Cool, awesome, great. Like I get to show my talents to the world, and soon enough, because I play a money 5 position, I'll put myself in line for a serious payday. Right,
$20 million to talk.
That's what happens in the NFL. Okay, but let me think about the team that you play for, Rob. I'm your guy, all right? RJ's your guy. I got your back, all right?
Right.
Well, the quarterback who you're protecting, they won't pay him. The pass rusher who does the, great work on the other side of the field, who you go up against in practice sometimes, they're not paying him quite yet. The star wide receiver who literally set all sorts of franchise records at his position last year, they won't pay him either. By the way, these 3 dudes who play 3 of the other 4, money 5 positions, because you play one of them, all that they said for the last few years was that they had to save all the money to pay them. And now they're not doing it. So I don't know why you're getting excited about the idea of you getting paid, because when your turn comes, they're not only going to not do it, but they're going to use all of your flaws against you in a court of public opinion to try to curry favor themselves so they can pay you as least amount as possible.
Micah's going to get paid. We know somebody going to pay him. I assume it'll be Jerry. At some point, we'll have to pay him one way or the other. Are there any rumors? The rumors that I'm seeing floating around, I don't know about the sources that, and you just brought up the idea of all of your foibles and flaws brought up as a negative negotiating tool. And this might be part of it. Is there any part of the Dallas Cowboys that are kind of like, we're not going to pay you till you start acting like the superstar we want you to be, both on and off the field?
I mean, that would be incredibly hypocritical.
Well, I'm just saying, is there any substance to that? I mean, have we heard anything else from anybody saying, you know what, we're sick of your crap, man. All talk on the edge and no play on the game?
No, I think the most likely explanation is that they really believe that they can get one over here, that they can convince you, CeeDee, you, Micah, you, Dak, to take less because this is the Dallas Cowboys, and there's only so much that they can do, and they're really stuck, and you just got to pity them, Rob. The poor Dallas Cowboys front office, they're so stuck, and their jobs are so hard, and, please don't make them work anymore. It's so difficult. They're so busy drawing up all that paperwork that Eric Kendricks had to sign, their lone external free agency signing. There have been as many solar eclipses this offseason as there have been external free agent Dallas Cowboys signings. This is an inept front office that doesn't understand the way this works.
But one thing Jerry's always been good at is kind of, bringing you what you needed at the right time just to keep you going. Just enough to move things along. The Amari Cooper trade, we could name others. Just enough.
Mary Poppins reached down in the bag.
Just one thing to kind of sustain you till the next crisis, and then so there's the look what I brought you, look what I got you kind of mentality for Jerry. And I just kind of figured that CeeDee Lamb would be the guy that we'd have a press conference on Thursday about noon, so we get all day Thursday, all day Friday, and all weekend to talk about. Jerry finally signed CeeDee Lamb. Jerry finally signed Micah. Jerry finally signed that, whatever it might be, that he would finally be able to kind of adjust the trajectory of the team, alter the coordinates and come out and say, well, it ain't all awful. Look what I brung you. We got a newly, freshly signed CeeDee. He did it last year, as you brought up with Trayvon Diggs. Aren't we due for one of those? And if it's not CeeDee, who is it? And if it's nobody, when did Jerry become that guy? Or has he always been that guy and I didn't realize it?
I think it's probably a little bit of the latter, maybe not entirely that. I think as the business of who the Cowboys are has flourished and thrived, it's just the return on investment for work or quite frankly, literal investment for them is so low because the machine just kind of takes care of itself, right? Like you don't have to do anything to reap the, kind of benefits of being the Dallas Cowboys at this point in time. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be worth, what they are and be visible the way that they are, independent whether or not, Dak or CeeDee or Micah get new deals with the teams. They're all incredibly talented players, but they do not power the machine that is the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody does, because the machine is the machine. And so that being said, I think that where we're at is fans are just a lot smarter, and fans have a lot more access to information, and fans, tune into shows hopefully like ours and others that kind of shine a light on these things, because you're right. I mean, it's felt like, the Cowboys have, the ability to pull this off, whatever. But people are poking around more now because, okay, you're telling us you're not doing anything in free agency because you're doing this, but you're not doing that. So what are you doing? Where are the fruits of your labor? What labor is there at all? I think people are a little bit more, well aware of these kinds of things. That isn't to say that they truly are incompetent, but they are lazy at this relative to their competition. There are other GMs and other front offices who every single day are grinding and trying to find that inch, to look under that rock, and they don't feel the need to. And they might get the deal done with CeeDee. Obviously, I hope that they do. But in the meantime, every day is a possibility that Justin Jefferson or Brandon Ayuk or Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle are going to get a deal themselves and are going to raise the price. And that is the lesson that they refuse to learn, not only with Dak Prescott in the most important contracts in the NFL, which are the quarterback ones, but with all of the money 5 positions. The next guy gets more. And until you accept that reality that you are not exempt from, even as the Dallas Cowboys, you're not operating on the same level as everybody else.
Just after 9 o'clock, we're going to look at the weekend's college basketball viewership numbers. Sunday set all kinds of records, did last night do it. We're going to look at it just after 9 o'clock. But coming up next, the Spurs took the night off, as the rest of the NBA world did, to watch college basketball. We explained that to Victor, what that means. Let's hope he's ready for tonight. We'll look forward to Memphis and see what he can do, minus Keldon, another game with the replacements. Victor and the replacements. I like that. That's a good band. Maybe a couple of dance hits in their future. Let's see if there's a couple of wins. We'll talk about it next. You're on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You know, living your life in pain is no way to go through, man. If you're waking up every day with something that's just keeping you from doing things that you love, stop. You know, there's a fix out there. It's called a Rosti. Now, a Rosti is a method of treatment. It is a way to get you back into life without the kind of pain that keeps you from doing things that you love. And the way that a Rosti works, I found remarkably unique. First of all, it's a certification that's attained by current medical professionals. They come and learn a Rosti, then they go carry forth the doctrine to around the world. And many, many patients, just like me, have benefited from a Rosti treatment because it works, and it works fast. And it has nothing to do with surgery. It has nothing to do with pills. It is your body fixing itself. We all love that, right? Well, I went to an Rosti provider for the first time with lower back issues, things that had bothered me for years. I used to just lay on my back and wait for it to get better. Stumbled into the Rosti provider, and the first treatment, I could tell a difference. Within 3, I was back in the game, and I've been an Rosti patient ever since. If you're living with pain, call them today, because you don't need a referral. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website is Rosti.com. They got a map there of all the providers. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. Listen close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix out there. It's called a Rosti. Call them today. They're going to get you fixed, and when they do, I want you to thank me later.
94.1.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyer4us.com.
Hard work, dedication, and dreams. These are the keystones of success. But easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. And getting your max refund guarantee definitely doesn't hurt. But let others think you did a lot of hard work to file your taxes when in reality, it was a walk in the park. No, you literally filed while walking your dog in the park. Winner! Because some key info is pre-filled for you so you can file quickly and confidently like the boss that you are. So give yourself the peace of mind that comes with getting expert help. Because you're going places. Let's go. And make tax season feel like it's award season with easy filing. Yeah! Know that you're backed by the leading tax preparer, TurboTax, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. Feel accomplished and confident that your taxes are done right. File an Intuit Credit Karma today. Yeah. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports fantasy act. 3 million players. Yes, I'm a member. You should be too. Download it now and remember the code Alamo, and you can get a deposit match of up to $100. Basketball is balling, baby. Football is coming. Baseball is swinging. It is time to go to Prize Picks because you put your fantasy knowledge into action. You know more. You know your less. You know who's better or not. You know what's going on. You're a fantasy player. Put that knowledge to work. I have, along with so many others. And right now, remember the code Alamo, and you can get $100 deposit match right now. Go download Prize Picks. We love watching Connor McDavid, Jude Bellingham, LeBron James. They are playing go more or less. It's so easy to do, and now's the time to go. You know when it's more, you know when it's less, and when you pair them together, you can win big bucks, up to 100 times your money. More, less, Prize Picks, Alamo. Go there.
Hey, it's Joe Reinagle. Join the Blitz today beginning at 2. We'll talk with Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk at 5:15 about our two favorite teams, the Texans and the Cowboys.
Huh? Thanks, Joe. Mama Football today. Loved when Shireen joins them. They'll be here today, gone tomorrow. The Blitz will be live at a brand new spot in a familiar location. They were last night. They're going to be out at the Big Blind for a Wednesday 6K, $60 buy-in, $60 rebuy, 2 free cocktail vouchers with your entry. That's Wednesday night at the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. The Blitz will be live. You should be live with them. It should be fun right next door. That old strip center, that's a lot of fun. Play some cards, head over to the Roo, have a fine meal. You go to the Angry Elephant and complain about modern politics, all in one little stretch, all right there. I imagine Spurs woke up after a nice night on Beale Street, had some, I'd have gone to Rendezvous. I'm a little bit partial to Rendezvous ribs. It's dry. I get it, but they're good. I like Rendezvous. Maybe Corky's for some pulled pork. Had some good jazz last night. Keldon limping around. Ain't going to play tonight. It'll be Victor and the replacements in a game that is one of the opportunities to avoid infamy, RJ. One more win.
This is one of the most important opportunities, is it not? Like, if you don't get this one, all of a sudden, it's a little difficult. You know what I'm saying? So, you better find a way, Spurs.
The playoffs are close, though not set by any imagination. It's funny when you look at where the Spurs are dead last, of course, in 2 games at the very bottom. There is not a single team in the West that's won more than 3 games in a row. And that tells me something. This is a dogfight. This is the SEC West times 3. It is what's the difference between Minnesota, who sits currently in first place with by tiebreaker, and only 1 game lead over the Thunder? There's really no difference between the Timberwolves, Nuggets, and Thunder, right? They're all really, really good.
Well, I mean, I think we trust the Nuggets a lot more.
Well, I mean, they've been there and done that.
There's a big difference in that.
But the talent assembled, I mean, you would not if at the end of the season the Thunder walked away with a ring, you'd go, yeah. I mean, yeah, They'd been building toward it. They were fully staffed and fully functional. They drafted well. This is a deep team. They've worked their way there. It was probably a year or two ahead of schedule, but no surprise. And the Timberwolves, I think you say the same thing. In Denver, they're just back at it. I'm saying this playoff looks like it's going to be a dogfight. And if I was looking for an underdog, a dark horse, I'm not sure I see one in the West.
In the West specifically, because I think you're right. The East is more riddled with dark horse candidates. I think you'd have to lean on some sort of trope, if you want to call it that. And you'd have to go late.
I think we lost you.
Am I here? Am I
No,
live?
now you're back. You froze.
Yeah.
It was a wrinkle in time. It was the eclipse.
I'm saying you'd have to lean you'd have to lean on some sort of trope, because I don't know about you, but I can convince myself that the Pelicans or Kings are dark horses. I mean,
no.
Right. Like, they're cute and they're fun, whatever. Maybe Phoenix, a little bit of a dark horse, but they're so in the moment and in the center stage of it all that they're not a dark horse. So I think you'd have to say the Lakers or Warriors because of the path they would have to take. They would be your dark horse.
But can you call the Lakers with LeBron and the Warriors with Steph and Draymond and the rings that?
Well, Draymond, if he's playing,
well,
he's not ejected.
If it doesn't get thrown out. But I mean, can we legitimately call those teams dark horses?
I think that you know, by the letter of the law, they're dark horses. I think so. But obviously,
well, by the
context, in context, they're not. But by the letter of the law, they are. And so that's it, though, as far as the West. But I mean, maybe would you qualify the Clippers or Mavs as dark horses?
I would say the Mavs would qualify if I thought they were. And the Mavs are hot. They're one of the teams that's won 3 straight, so maybe they can find their way. I don't know. I think that I'm not sure if this team hasn't reached its ceiling. I mean, I don't see any discernible difference from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. They've won a few games. It's still Kyrie and Luka, and that might be enough to get you far. But do you really believe that if they played at their very best, and they put a string together that was the likes of which we haven't seen in a minute, that at their very best, they could take 4 games off of, name the top, anyone, Denver, Minnesota? I don't think so.
Probably not.
You know, so maybe, but when, you look for dark horses, it's the East. And do you quantify the Sixers as a dark horse, as a 7 seed, now that Embiid is back? Is that it's kind of like, no, I don't think so. I don't think they're a dark horse. I think it'll be difficult, but I wouldn't be surprised if they won.
I think there are 2 dark horses in the East, and they're relative to context. I think the Sixers, because you just don't know what Embiid's going to be like, in a playoff series at this point, and multiple playoff series, which it would have to take. And this feels strange to say, but I think the Bucks are kind of a dark horse. I think we've sort of forgotten about them because they've drifted into the abyss a bit too much, and they are kind of hiding behind the Celtics. Like the Celtics have the most pressure of any team in the NBA right now. Like, they're carrying the weight. It's been 16 years since the 2008 title. And so they're carrying that weight. They're carrying the general weight of being the Celtics. And they've been so dominant. And it's been a matter of like, oh, you can just sim through this whole thing and they're going to dominate whatever, blah, blah, blah. If the Celtics, that lends favorably to the Bucks. Like, tell me you couldn't see the Bucks winning in 6, Bucks in 6, whatever. And with Dame having like 2 Dame time moments that just alter the series.
It's going to take that. The Bucks and the Clippers remind me a lot of each other. They're the same team. They've got enough talent.
The meanest thing anyone's ever said about
both of them have enough talent if they decide to play defense, if they decide to, just do what they're capable of and get past health issues. Yeah, both those teams could win it all. I just don't expect them to be able to do it. I'm down on the Bucks. I watched them play. It's been I've been college basketball engrossed, but they're just not a very. You say it best, and again, the series that I've never watched, Succession. Well, they don't seem like serious people.
So, I wish you would watch it, first of all, and I'm upset that you won't. But it's Logan Roy, the father, talking to his children, and he prefaces it by saying, "I love you, but you're not serious people." That's the distinction. Like, that's what makes it such a painful sort of thing. Is I want nothing more than good things for you in life. I don't know that you feel that way about them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's appropriate for the
I feel
Cowboys.
like that for Dame. I would like to see him get it, but you don't seem committed.
Dame is totally a serious person. What are you talking about?
Defensively, like to win a title, dude, you have to be more than just that. There's a reason why you haven't won. You had to change teams. You have to be something different from what you were. And some of this is play some damn defense. And that goes for you too, Giannis. You're not serious people because you're not committed to doing the little things. And it has nothing to do with Doc Rivers because you were not doing the little things with other coaches. You either are in it or you're not. And right now, I don't look at the Bucks as serious people. I do look at
who's a more serious team in the East than the Bucks?
The Sixers. But I can't quantify them.
What?
As an underdog. Oh, man, they had an MVP run until he hurt his knee. Last time I'd seen him before, the
Bucks still have Giannis. I mean,
know, but they're not serious right now. They're not committed. What I saw from Philly the other day was a committed
and they're not
team.
committed, and they still have almost 50 wins. Think about that.
I agree. But that's regular season, and you got to be committed. You got to be a serious person in the playoffs in the second round, third round. You got to be committed. And I don't see Dame Lillard committed to playing the defense that's going to be required to beat the Celtics, to beat an offensive team like the Pacers, to play an athletic, tall team like Cleveland. I just don't see it. I see a lot of guys that are capable of it, but they're not serious right now.
Wow. I didn't think we'd get this kind of Bucks disrespect today.
Well, I think the same thing about the Clippers. I think you're all capable. I just don't think you're serious.
It's weird that these teams, I mean, what a shock, but with all these, like, you know, all the teams we've listed, I guess Philly aside, but Milwaukee's kind of gone for it. Phoenix has kind of gone for it. The Clippers have kind of gone for it. The Lakers, obviously, we've mentioned. I mean, all these teams that have like kind of really just gone for it are flailing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
We saw on the Brigade Bar, and I'd like to, Edwin, if you can find it, somebody brought up, like, if a team like Oklahoma City wins, a team that has planned their work
the worst possible
and
outcome.
worked their plan, the worst case scenario for the Spurs, it is justification to do nothing but what is appropriate. Draft the highest player available, pay the least amount, hold on to your talent. Don't do deals. You got plenty of time. You got 50 draft picks over 6 years. Just draft, and eventually you'll find the right pattern. Well, it worked for Eddie. And I have given what I've seen recently from the Spurs, I think the needle would point toward Detroit and a bunch of talent that isn't useful in the way Oklahoma City has done it. So no, I don't like that. Isn't that a nightmare for Spurs fans when they can come out and say, "Well, we told you." It's a process.
That would be just the worst. I mean, and especially if they slayed some dragons along the way. You know, like, it wouldn't be as bad if Boston got bounced and, I don't know, say like the Sixers went on a run and that's who Oklahoma City caught, and it was just a matter of like luck and fortuitous bounce of the ball. But if they met this, like, if the Celtics just kept fire and got to the finals, and the Thunder and their built not bought way, whatever, blah blah, just took them out. Oh, that would really suck.
Well, the Spurs sit dead last in the West, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're looking for a high draft pick, no doubt, right? But to escape they're infamous. Would they be infamous if they were the worst team in franchise history? Would they be famous at all, or would they just be a footnote?
No, it's infamy. They'd definitely be infamous.
The chase to avoid infamy starts tonight in Memphis. There's no Ja there. There will be no Keldon, no Jeremy, and no Devin either. Can the Spurs go equal with the worst team in franchise history? It could happen tonight. They could get their 20th win. Let's keep our fingers crossed and talk about it next. What's Wemby got to do to get another win? That's right here on the Morning Huddle. Grab an E, carbo load, and get an orange slice. We'll be right back here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, all this talk about CeeDee Lamb and a holdout. Could it possibly be? We got an expert we can ask.
Yeah, Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us at 5:15. And, of course, we'll react to last night's national championship game. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why. Thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Do you have a lack of energy, motivation, possibly low libido? These symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, their medical providers exclusively specialize in customized testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you get your results back at your first visit. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Folks, quality is a huge deal. It's what I look for when I recommend something to my listeners. It means you can depend on it. Quality means it won't let you down. It's something you can be proud of. Well, that's the definition of a Connecticut water softener. With other water softener brands, you just never know. Maybe they work half the time or they're just plain junk. A Connecticut water softener is up to 80% more efficient than competing models and will be the last water softener you'll ever own. That's because you're buying quality, and it's backed up with an outstanding 10-year warranty, too. If you're ready to enjoy all the benefits that come with quality, bring home a Connecticut water softener. Call the team at Connecticut at 656-PURE or online at ConnecticutSA.com. That's 656-PURE or ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit.
Call 800-497-1990. That's 800-497-1990. 800-497-1990.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. Coming up on the Blitz, we're going to react to that national championship game, all that took place there. Plus, Shireen Williams will join us from Pro Football Talk. We're going to talk to her about the Dallas Cowboys and, in particular, CeeDee Lamb's possible holdout. Could that be? Rob, RJ, you guys like pimento cheese?
Only on a grassy field in the middle of Georgia. No, I love pimento cheese. It is a staple. Pimento cheese is extraordinary.
Disgusting.
Then you just haven't lived a proper and full life. Because a pimento cheese is fine. And I can't imagine a finer, nothing could be finer than a pimento cheese.
I tried one at the Masters because, how can you not? And I mean, it's atrocious.
By the way, they're known for it. You get a pimento cheese at the Masters if you're unaware.
I also tried the egg salad sandwich, not for me.
It's a consistency thing for me with that.
Yeah,
stuff.
they do have a chicken sandwich. Just a very quick tangent here.
It's not like the Masters.
Well, but it's not like Chick-fil-A. This is going to sound weird. It's not cold, but it's kind of cool. Like they kind of keep it in a cooler, but not like an overly cold cooler. Because it's just it's like mass produced. I guess so. It's a little bit more chilled than room.
Is it crusted or grilled?
It's crusted.
All right,
but there's something nice to the cool texture.
Settle down, Goldfinger.
There's
You
something
do not know what you speak.
Something pleasant to it.
Also, the chicken was good. Well, Georgia, isn't that where Chick-fil-A's from? Aren't they in Atlanta? Aren't they a Georgia company?
That's correct. Everyone obviously talks about the concession stand prices. If anyone's ever been, the Masters experience is unlike anything I've ever been to in my life.
It's a tradition like none other, I've been told.
One of the coolest things, and I got you a cap when I went, but one of the coolest things was you walk out of the pro shop, and it's super easy to drop a lot of money in there. But you walk out and you're thinking I do not want to carry all this that I just bought, all around with me. And it's a pain to go back to the car. They have a UPS facility.
Just go ahead and ship it right. The
and
Super
you
Bowl
just
has
ship
that
it
too.
home. It's sick.
That's the irony of all this is the only people at the Masters, you excluded, have the wherewithal and the means to spend a little bit of money on the concessions. Dollar value ain't that big a deal. You could serve them a $30 hamburger and they wouldn't notice because they don't normally pay for food anyway. They just think that's what food costs. And the food is cheap.
Are you aware, Rob? Maybe you're not. They started doing this, I believe.
I know, but I know how those things work. You get the passes and they go for sale. You're talking about how you get in, or anyway?
No. So I was going to ask if you're aware, and I believe that the COVID Masters, which was in November, I believe this was the first time they did this. They bundled what they have since called the Taste of the Masters, and they've done it every year.
So you can still order it. That's still a thing.
You can order it, although they're sold out right now. So you're stuck. But this is what you get. This is the large hosting. You want to hear larger classics?
I think you and I tried to order that 4 years ago. I think we tried and we couldn't get it.
We definitely ordered it around the house, and we did a neighborhood tournament, and so I've done it before. We ordered it in 2021. But here's what you get. You want to know the large or the classic?
I think the classic is the one we tried to order.
Okay, so this is what you get. The price isn't here anymore because
it was a couple $100.
I want to say it's like $150. Anyway, you get 24 ounces of pimento cheese. Disgusting. Oh my gosh. You get 6 bags.
A lifetime supply.
You get 6 bags of plain potato chips. All right. And that's what they're called. They're called potato chips. These aren't Lay's. These aren't whatever. You get 6 moon pies. That's what they're called here. All right.
That's what they are. You ever had a moon pie?
Right, I'm just telling you. I mean, you get. I don't think that came in the package I got. Anyway, you get 12 Masters branded souvenir cups. They say Masters. They have the emblem, the logo, and it says the year on it.
Yeah.
I say 2021. But we kept ours from 2018 because that's what you do. You get a pack. It's a 12-sheet pack of Masters branded wax paper. We still haven't used that.
That's to wrap your Sammys in as you walk the fairway.
Correct. And then you get we didn't get this either. You get a 12-pack of Masters coasters. So pretty
That's
sweet
a bunch
situation.
of crap.
And then it also says hosting kit materials. I don't know what that means.
Well, you
but
get some Masters napkins.
The large kit includes 24 ounces of egg salad. We definitely did this. And 24 ounces of pork barbecue. So kind of like a pulled pork. It's just,
And this was, if I recall, it was a lot of money, but it was
6 bags of barbecue potato chips. You get 6 cookies. I don't think you get moon pies here. You do get 6 bags of Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and you get 25 cups. And so that's what you could have done.
You could have had a moon pie.
I'm just going to smoke a pulled pork this weekend.
You can have a moon pie. You get a moon pie.
Spoken like a true moon pie.
I'm telling you, that's an Aggie thing.
Wow.
Brings to mind an Aggie joke that I'm sure a few of you are chuckling about.
God,
right
pimento
now.
cheese is so gross.
I've been watching
so
this morning.
That you like it.
Watching the first of all, bring up. I think it was Goldfinger or Jesus just rolled up there that pimento cheese is for old people. You're not eating the right pimento cheese. Pimento cheese has those pimentos, a little bit of peppers. There's some fire to it. Well-made pimento cheese, and it's got the cheese has to be consistent. It can't be soft. Nobody wants that. It has to be the harder, really.
Be doing whiter wheat bread. That matters to me here.
I don't care as long as it's not soft. It has to be a bread of consistency.
Dude, what about a bun? Is that too thick?
Well, again, a bun, it could be functional as well. It just can't be sweet. Not a Hawaiian roll, not an appropriate roll for this. If it was me, it would be a Kaiser, maybe, but something thick, maybe even some sort of bagel-esque roll, something of consistency that it has to measure up to the cheese. That's got some heat. And the cheese would be a little bit firmer, sharp cheddar that's been aged a little bit, so it's got some bite to it. When you make that, man, the pimento cheese is world class. It's like a great grilled cheese, just not melty and gooey.
No,
because they just get gooey and sticky and stick all over everything.
Keep your life to yourself, Joe Reinagel. They'll be live today here at the studio, and sticky it just begins to describe what happens here. But then they're going to be out at the whole strip center. But it'll be the first time they've ever broadcast from the new and beautiful card house that they've opened up right there, broadcasting from the Big Blind, right next door to the Rue Pub, which is beside the Angry Elephant, all together. That's tomorrow at 6. Come, it's a $60 it's Wednesday 6K, $60 buy, $60 rebuy, some drink vouchers in there. Great night. Go there tomorrow night. I was just watching the screens. Tiger is walking around like I walk around the day after a brisk basketball game with my kids. He looks a little stiff, man. Is he all right?
Look, dude, if there's one place you can trust him to be all right, it's this one.
Okay.
He's got a big day, and I don't know if you want to get into this on the other side here in a little bit.
No, we got a minute.
Well, we need more than a minute for this. It's Tuesday at the Masters, which means tonight is the champions dinner.
So what do they eat?
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you want to get into this.
We got 15 minutes to dig into this. We don't want nobody to get out their car. This is worthy of conversation. What are they eating tonight?
So tonight's dinner is served in honor of John Rahm. Obviously,
where's he from?
He's from Spain.
Spain, okay.
So last year's Masters champion. Here we go. The entire thing is the names of the dishes are in Spanish.
All right, let's go.
Bear with me. Tapas y pinchos. We've got
tapas y what? Spell that.
Pint, P-I-N-T-X-O-S. Pinchos.
Pinchos.
I think.
Tapas y pinchos, which is little dishes of something.
We've got Ibericos,
that's
acorn-fed Iberian ham.
Yeah, that's big.
Pork loin.
Oh, nectar of the gods there.
We've got butter. Idiazabal con trufa negra, which is Idiazabal cheese and black truffle. We have chistorra con patata, which is spicy Basque chorizo and potato. That sounds wonderful.
I'm so far so good, John Rahm.
Tortilla de patatas, Spanish omelet.
Have you ever had
onions?
a Spanish tortilla? I'm about to say, I'm glad they described it that way. I accidentally ordered a tortilla in Madrid, and it was not what I expected it to be. I got a big old quiche. No, I got a giant casserole. I just asked for a tortilla on the side, and the waiter went, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." Their tortillas are different than ours. I mean, it was like a quiche, like you just described. I think I was like, so you want a side of eggs?
It's a big day for Spain, by the way, just because Real Madrid playing Manchester City in the Champions League today. That's not John Rahm's club.
You know what? I have my DVR set for that. I was actually kind of excited
your
to
club,
spring
Arsenal's
that
playing at the same time. They're playing Bayern Munich, so watch out.
Okay. Anyway.
All right, let's keep going. We have a few more. We have a few more dishes.
Dang.
So we have a few more dishes. Lentejas estofadas, which is described. All these are the Spanish
What
names
is this
in the
again?
description.
Beans?
Lentejas. I'm going names first and then description. Okay. The name here, lentejas estofadas, and that is described as Mama Ram's classic lentil stew.
Yeah,
No offense, Mama Ram, not from me.
It's just beans, just bracho beans, probably. Anyway,
here we go. Croqueta de pollo. And it's described, I'm sure you can discern this, but again, for context, creamy chicken fritters and confit potatoes.
So like a potato confit? That's interesting.
So these are all like kind of appetizer sort of things. Now we're at the first course.
Yeah, those were the tapas that they just had.
Right. First course, ensalada de Tixanguro. And I've never seen this word before.
I like the way you say it.
Txangurro. Tixanguro.
Sounds
I think
like
that's
some
how
kind
you
of
pronounce
Texan dish. They're stealing from us.
What this is a Basque crab salad and potato.
Oh, the Basques.
That sounds pretty legit in my mind.
Basque?
Okay, so main course, you have a choice. All right, I'm going to tell you the two names and then I'll explain what they are.
All right, I know.
Choice one, chuletón a la parrilla. That's number one.
Oh, I like that one already. That sounds grilled and hot and flamey. Next.
And choice number two, rodaballo al pilpil. So the first
I don't
choice,
want the pill. I want the first one.
The first choice, which is the chuletón, is a Basque ribeye,
there we go,
tudela lettuce, and piquillo peppers. I'm kind of with you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The rodaballo is turbot and Navarra white asparagus. No thanks.
What was the one before that? Turbot?
So I'm
spell it for me.
Turbot. That's what it's described as.
Turbot.
Turbot, comma Navarra.
I ain't never had no turbot in my garden.
Okay, so we're both going chuletón. Or two orders of chuletón.
You ever
please,
dance
Garçon.
a good chuletón, man? That'll wear you out.
All right, finally for dessert. Are you ready for this? Because you're gonna need
like
this.
Vanilla ice cream.
Mil hojas de crema y nata, which is described as a puff pastry cake, custard, and chantilly cream.
And chantilly cream. All right, I'm down. That's a meal. That's not like fried chicken. That's not like fajita. What did Spieth have? They had fajitas, right?
Let's see here. I think Scotty Scheffler did burgers because it's usually like it's usually like a where you're from kind of thing.
Yeah, but
Jordan Spieth's dinner was he's from Texas. Jordan Spieth's dinner was 8 years ago. He had a local green salad. This is the starter. He had authentic Texas barbecue.
Yeah, it was
Holy
barbecue.
Crap.
Yeah,
brisket, smoked half chicken, pork ribs,
respect
baked beans. So, wow, this sounds awesome. And then a warm chocolate chip cookie with vanilla ice cream.
See that would, what would you choose? 656-3776 on the Brigade Bar. You can do that by subscribing and watching our show, or you can text it however you'd like.
Rob, very quickly.
What would you choose?
Well, I'm going to tell you Scotty Scheffler's dinner from last year. This is mine. I'm taking it now. So, cheeseburger sliders served Scotty style. That's badass. When you have a style.
No, I don't want anybody's style. I don't want his style. I might not like his style.
So, and then that's one of the appetizers, along with firecracker shrimp.
I like firecracker shrimp.
That's what I'm saying. You got some sliders, some shrimp. Okay, now we're bumping elbows in our green jacket.
Master's meal. You got to bring
Hold up. Then you've got a tortilla soup. From Scotty
you can't serve no soup.
And then your two choices for your main course: Texas ribeye steak or blackened redfish. How about a little of both?
All right. I mean, respect to the steak, but you got to bring it
with the sides. These are the sides. That's what makes the meal in my mind. Family style mac and cheese. So you lean over, you say, "Hey Phil, can you pass the mac and cheese?" type thing. Jalapeno creamed corn.
Have you ever seen Phil's hands? He doesn't wash his hands.
Jalapeno creamed corn, fried Brussels sprouts, and seasoned fries, dude.
See, that's an evening out at. Now that's not a master's meal.
The dessert's gonna throw you for one. It's similar to Jordan, but it's a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie, kind of like what's it called, a bazooki from gosh, the name escapes me. But and then the option is milk and cookies ice cream. serve.
All right. What would you
serve, Rob? For your meal, your master's
carnitas and
menu?
shrimp Goldfinger. I would go out there, man. I would get San Antonio local. I'd get Johnny Hernandez, and I would have him do goat. That would be part of it. I'd do a cabrito, the Monterey style, up on the cross, bent over the fire. I want everybody to see that as they walk in. I want to see the goats on the spit as they walk in. And then I'd do I'd do a chicken dish, but I would do something more akin to the South. I'd do like like the El Pollos with the smoked chicken, but I would do with more of a white sauce. So I'd give them that.
I think I'd do, if it wasn't something similar to Scotty Scheffler, I'd do like some fish tacos on corn tortillas with some lobster tacos as an appetizer. You know what I mean? On like a nice slaw.
So kind of a Caribbean seafood thing.
And then have maybe some coconut shrimp as an accessory. You know what I mean? Kind of something that feels light.
Where's
and
my
airy.
turf? I got to have another protein though. You going?
I'll
pork?
throw in some beef skewers, so you have a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like to kind of dabble with. But I want the main thing to be the fish.
Beef skewers, like the Fiesta Anticuchos kind of thing. The big old chunks of meat that have been marinated.
Yeah, and I've always thought, by the way, something I would consider. I don't think I would actually do this, but I would almost pick something really volatile.
You have to. That's what I'm saying. That's why I want the goat.
No, and I would spend like the 3 months prior, like developing an immunity to it. You know what I'm saying? Like eating it every day and like toughening up my stomach. And then I would serve it all. Not everyone, obviously, the dinner is playing in the field, but I would serve it to them and just like
we're about
set them back.
We have to go to break, and I'm looking at our brigade bar, and I'm seeing James Pledger here. James, I love you, James, like a brother. Get off the brigade bar and celebrate your birthday. Happy birthday, my brother.
It is James Pledger's birthday.
What are you doing typing me? Go celebrate your day, my brother.
Happy birthday.
You get to celebrate post-eclipse. Your 24 eclipse +1 birthday, James Pledger. Is he taking the day off? Edwin, are you working a double?
No, not that I know of.
This would be an interesting way to find out.
I think he celebrated over the weekend.
I know you celebrated over the weekend. We were witness to it. Well, happy birthday. And I want, for all those listening, take just a moment out of your day to give James Pledger some love today, because he's coming to work and our company gives you the day. He gives you the day. The man gives you the day. And he's typing on our brigade bar at 8. Suckers won't even subscribe. Shame on you. And happy birthday to James. So you have a couple minutes to wish him happy birthday and subscribe, and we will supply you with restaurant quality radio from now until 9 o'clock. What do you say, RJ? Let's give them our best, because that's what they deserve, damn it.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
Nigel, what's up with your hair?
Joe, prices are insane these days. I'm cutting my own hair.
Folks, nobody likes paying high prices. Good news, for a limited time, all Quarter Moon 14-SEER AC systems up to 3 tons are installed in your house for only $69.99. Now is the ideal time to take care of your home at the lowest price of the year.
Joe, I like saving money. I'm an influencer. Everywhere I go, people hand me change and say, bless your heart.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M16004. DACLA 000743458.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today. As we wind down the NBA regular season, still time to get in on the action at Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. I love playing the Pick'em game, a fantasy game where you can win real money, and it's legal in Texas. Love playing the Pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players and select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you could win up to 100 times your money, and it's certainly a lot of fun to play and adds excitement to watching the silver and black. So go to the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you'll get a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, use my promo code STAR when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stopped, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details. Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
With Spring Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, you can get up to $1,000 off select laundry appliances from top brands like LG, America's most reliable line of appliances. And with convenient shopping in-store and online, you can get new appliances with smart, intuitive features any way you want. Like a new LG Wash Combo all-in-one that can run a full load in under 2 hours. Right now, get $1,000 off select laundry appliances with Spring Black Friday savings in-store and online at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, we had our one shining moment last night. The college basketball season has come to a close. UConn repeats, taking down Purdue 75-60. They've become the first team since Florida to do just that. Back in 06 and 07. The Spurs get busy again tonight. They're in Memphis taking on the Grizzlies without Keldon Johnson. He's out with a bad foot. The tip-off is at 7 p.m.
Wembanyama three. Goes behind the back here. Oh! Little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama. Drive. Oh, it's knocked away by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, check it out, RJ. Trippy, right? This is the Morning Huddle, and if you could have been watching us on your device, you just would have seen that. He's RJ, he's on your right, I'm Rob, I'm on the left. We call it the Morning Huddle. We hope you call it your morning ride in. We're glad you're here. James Pledger's celebrating his birthday in the gym this morning. He's so powerful. He doesn't do push-ups. He does world downs. There you go. Take that home with you. We owe you an hour of powerful radio because James Pledger is not only working out on his birthday, sweating out all the sins of last night, but he is coming to work on a day that has been given to him by the man, the suit. So you can take your birthday off, no questions asked. Yet he comes to work. And that's why we are here. Even though we were up late watching a world-class slugfest of a basketball game for about 20 minutes anyway.
It was a wonderful game and a wonderful evening. And today is a wonderful day because our great friend James Pledger was born on it.
A bright and shining day. Eclipse +1. That's James Pledger. Watching the games last night, a couple of reflections. What'd you think of Terry Crews giving the pep talk to start things up?
It's a little weird.
Random choice, right?
I don't need you to over commercialize the beginning of the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine the way it is. You know, it's
I wasn't against it. It was just a random. I would have thought an athlete, not a dude that missed a layup to lose a game. Come on, bro. You can't even go back to your reunion after that story. Like, so you're allowed back in town? You dropped the ball. You missed the layup.
Well,
I'm glad you're acting.
Good for him, I suppose.
Anyway.
But, dude, by the way, you mentioned staying up late. Maybe I'm just getting old now. You know, maybe
you're an old soul, whether your age represents.
What are we doing? Starting this thing at 8:15.
I thought the same thing. What the hell are we doing? I don't care who lives in Scottsdale or Malibu. What are we doing?
It just
that was stupid.
It just why? Who wants this? Like who enjoys it being on that long? Nobody does.
And we need to have at the minimum 7:30. Minimum 7:30. 30 minutes earlier would have done us a world of good. It's nose to spite your face. I'd like to have watched some more. If you'd have started earlier, I would have. But no. I didn't watch the pre-stuff. I knew the pre-stuff. I was getting everything ready for the game while the pre-stuff was on. So I wasn't watching that. So you gave me an hour of pre-stuff. I didn't care about that. It was on in the background, but you know, I had enough of it. So we despite the Terry Crews rah-rah, I did appreciate what he had to say. The message was cool. The hourglass, and you're only right here. You're not down there. You're not up here. Perfect. That was good. That was for a guy who looks for motivational things and little things that kind of hook. I appreciated all that. I just thought the messenger was interesting. The game was great, but let me tell you, I love Ian Eagle. He is a good dude. Solid.
Dude, he's no, don't you dare
solid.
Do
he
anything
ain't
to
Jim
besmirch
Nance,
him.
man. He ain't Jim Nance.
Oh my gosh. What a
I speak the truth. And eventually Ian will be Ian, and we will miss him at some point. But today, this morning,
man, you are
he
just
ain't Jim Nance. And I love
you
Ian.
are glass. You are glass half empty.
That's what when the greats go away, if you don't miss them, they weren't that great.
It's
so
ridiculous.
You're telling me you didn't miss Jim Nance yesterday? When the commercial breaks, geez.
And we're gonna get a lot of him this coming week,
and that's fine.
You know,
but
I didn't miss Jim Nance. No, I thought Ian was wonderful. In
he
fact, I thought he was
adequate
great. Friend
to good.
of the show.
I don't want to disregard, but when you are the guy
trampling all over,
you never want to be the guy to replace the guy. And at one point, Jim Nance was no Brent Musburger.
Wow.
I'm not saying that it won't become, but the first year minus, I was kind of like, man, it would have been nice to have Jim standing there. Ernie was okay in the close. See, they didn't even let Ian do the close.
Oh my gosh, those are our two friends.
They
and you're
are
over here...
good dudes, but they're not Jim Nance, is what I'm saying.
What is
and they would say the same thing.
How can you
to
enjoy anything in life? You know, this steak was great, but it's not filet mignon.
I recognize it as change, and I understand. Like I just
this
said,
house is beautiful, but
point,
it's not a mansion. You know,
at one
this car
point,
is great, but it's not a Lambo.
I was not a fan of Jim Nance, and at some point, when Ian finally hangs him up, puts the cans on the desk and walks away, finally, I will say he was no Ian Eagle. Or he is no Ian Eagle, whoever replaces him. But right now, I miss
his son
Jim.
will replace him.
Maybe
that's the plan.
That's fine. But I miss Jim. It meant something. And I missed prior to him. I missed Brent Musburger, and prior to him, I miss Billy Packer and those
imagine
guys.
how much more your heart would have swelled with joy if Jim Nance had been the one announcing Zach Edey and not Ian Eagle. You would have been levitating, dude, like Dua Lipa.
Who?
She sings the song.
I didn't know
Levitating.
she sang. I know her for an entirely different reason.
She's well.
I had no idea she was multi-talented because the one I first found about, pretty talented.
Well, you know what? Ian Eagle's pretty multi-talented. He does a variety. He does more sports than Jim Nance
you're
does.
You're such a prickly millennial that you took it as a slap, and it wasn't a slap. I was just recognizing
first national championship, and
he
the first
did
thing
a
you're
good
saying
job.
is, "Oh yeah, he was okay. He was fine." I mean,
But
you know, he
can't
wasn't as good as the
say
previous guy.
I didn't say that. I missed Jim. Ian's going to come into his own, and he has some great one-liners that you're not really expecting from him. He is so deadpan. He lays some. They're pretty good.
Wow.
But there's something calming and soothing about the Jim Nance voice that we didn't get. I miss it. Now, can we go ahead and get rid of thank God the Capital One commercials are done. They're getting a little wore out. And can we retire the Oklahoma City Thunder singing duet that is Shea Gilgeous and Beard?
It's a little weird. Yeah. It's a little exhausting at this point.
Let's just put those to bed.
Yeah, I'm fine with having commercials that are for a certain time, like a certain season.
Yeah.
You know, like they were the tournament commercials, so they're gone. You know what I'm saying?
Go.
Like that, I can deal with that. But yeah, I'm done with them.
If I have to see Shea Gilgeous sing one more time,
you're going to call Ian Eagle and complain.
I'm going to call Ian Eagle and let him know what it's what. How many people watched last night? Do we have any idea? Because on Sunday, we had 18.7 million viewers on average and a max of about 24 million. And I'll bet that was about 6 minutes into the first quarter when Caitlin was lighting the world on fire and Twitter was exploding. Now, it kind of declined, much like last night, but I wonder what the max was. That 18.7 million, that average was the most watched college basketball game in 5 years, men or women, and it surpassed every finals game for the last several, and only a few college football games for the last several, and every Masters Sunday since. It was a ridiculous number, the likes of which that only Caitlin could have brought.
What a tournament on both sides. Mm-hmm. Like, what an overall...
What if the women outdrew the men? What if their peak was bigger than the men's
amazing.
Peak?
I think it will be. I mean, last night was not a good game. You know what I mean? It was fun and interesting, it was
a great game.
I won my bracket of record, but
thrilling. I don't know how to define what I watched, but the first half was a tactician's dream, and both coaches got what they wanted done. I just thought it was a heavyweight George Foreman, Joe Frazier, both landed slug shots, and just one got beaten up more in the first half. And I mean,
here's what the two were.
Purdue just didn't have enough.
Here's what they were. All right. Sunday was like Avengers Endgame. It was like the stars and the narratives and the juice. I mean, it just had every single thing you could possibly want in a game. Last night was kind of like, I mean, I recognize the movie was wonderful, but it was Oppenheimer. You know, it's this like long story, you know what I mean? Like,
well told, wonderful.
Yeah, well told, quality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was with a one main obvious star,
right,
and other ancillary parts. And so,
who was the star?
You know, Danny Hurley.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't think it's crazy at all.
In college basketball,
college team's coach was the star. Even, I mean, in college in general. I mean, the most famous figures in collegiate athletics are the coaches.
Well, in basketball in particular, I think there are some years.
I would put football, above there. I mean, you have your seasons of players, but like it's Saban, it's Dabo, it's
Well, no more Saban.
I mean, you get my point though. Like, it's Jimbo. I mean, like, again, there's so many there's so many more well-known coaches than there are players on an average year basis.
The takeaway from last night is just the sheer dominance that UConn brings, and along with the dominance that South Carolina has, that the program is just bigger than the stars. And as I'm reading a headline today that more changes may be on the way in college athletics. Says the transfer portal, you're allowed one free one right now. Well, they're about to. It looks like that's even going to go away, where you can transfer as much as you want. You just can't transfer in season and play for another team in season. The NCAA Division I Council will consider this and other things when they meet April the 17th and 18th. Athletes wouldn't have a limit for the number of times they transfer, but like I said, they couldn't play in season, which is the logical slippery slope to the decision. And when you see that coming, where now you could just, like you were an employee with no contract, can go across the street whenever you liked. It is about the program. It's about the coach and the system that will manufacture wins and titles. And I think both UConn and South Carolina represent what is modern college sports, this machine that will take high-end athletes, that will subjugate their name for the name on the front. And both those teams, both UConn and South Carolina, represent a transition. Both those teams had to replace 3, 4, 5 starters.
They did it.
Did it and back.
They did it and were better. I mean,
let me tell you, if I'm an AD, I don't care where I am in the country, I'm sending somebody to UConn and I'm getting them a hotel, and they're going to go live on that campus and follow around everybody who's making decisions because they're doing something right. And in this choppy waters, man, I need somebody to do some recon for me. And they've done it. They're doing it the right way. How? Because Hurley, just like Harbaugh in college football, who now went pro, their name is far more important than any star guy that's playing for them.
It's a difficult thing to achieve, but now it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Now, my question to you is, do you like it? Is this the best possible version of college sports?
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not saying it's wrong, but do you like it? Because that's what it is.
And I like UConn, but I'm assuming that we're going to soon reach a point where people are annoyed by them and annoyed by, like what I like about this is, people have been wondering about college football. Like who's the new villain of college football with Saban gone, right? Like who is that guy?
Dabo.
Somebody, I don't know, man. Like I know people don't like him, but like he doesn't really fit that like Vader, kind of mentality.
Does to me. Let me tell you something, young man.
You get my point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a lot of cachet to be that person.
You do have to be a monolith to be that.
And Dabo's closer than most, but he might not have enough in his own arena. But who has more cachet now than Hurley? And what's great about Hurley is someone could be like Calipari, be like, I have twice the amount of titles. Like he would tell you to your face. You know what I mean? Like I don't view him as a villain, but he's the foil that a lot of college basketball fans need. And UConn's now the foil. These worlds are so much better and so much more interesting when there is someone for people to chase and to hunt down. And UConn has established themselves as that over time. So yeah, I think this is great for the sport.
A valid comparison when you talk about what Hurley does and what Calipari did. And it does represent what was and what is, especially now that Calipari is no longer at Kentucky. How do you define a dynasty in college sports now? Because it felt very different last night than a year ago for UConn. Different folks, different players, same jersey. Are dynasties sustainable, and how? Good question to ask as we head into the spring season. I just got note this morning, the spring football game for UTSA is coming up. Basketball's dead. We only got baseball, a little bit of track, but football's just around the corner. Let's define a dynasty when we get back, and also look at what is a great week in sports. The Masters is having their fun time with, what's today, the par 3? What are we doing
Tomorrow
today?
Is the par 3 contest.
What are we doing today?
Today is a practice round, second practice round, and Masters dinner, Champions dinner, is tonight. And par 3 contest is tomorrow. There's a lot of press conferences happening today. It's, the golf world has descended upon Augusta, Georgia.
And we'll look at the things you need to know as the tee-off comes imminently on Thursday. And we'll have all your updates, everything you require to stay on top of your Masters coverage right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Defining a dynasty and wondering about Tiger's new wardrobe. It all matters. Coming up, this is the Morning Huddle, and we're so glad you're with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Institute for Functional Health has been part of my life for just about as long as just about anything else. when you walk into a place not feeling good and not liking the way you're looking and they make you feel better and look better, you kind of hold them in high esteem. And I'm always so proud when people walk up to me and say, Rob, you're back. You look like what you say. You do look better. Well, Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health played such a vital role in that. Now, it is a team effort. You ain't going to lose weight until you decide it's time to lose weight. But you need some help. You know, Dr. Torres, as I walked in the door, explained the basics of weight loss, but he also said some people are facing barriers they don't even know. There might be an underlying hormonal issue. There might be something that you're dealing with that won't allow you to lose weight until you fix that. And if you're just walking into someplace off the street or you're reading something off the internet or in a magazine, you're never going to get that checked. So you owe it to yourself to go see Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health, because that's the first thing that they do. And then they put together a program that only fits you because you're the only you. And then the benefits start to happen. And once you're committed, they are there to back you up all the way. I can say that because I've been there, been around the place for 7 years. It's up to you to make that decision. I want you to call Dr. Torres. If you've decided, if you've resolved it, it's time to lose weight, call him. Don't mess around. Go to the right place. The number you need is 210-468-1891. The website is easy, iffhealth.com. Either way, get to know Dr. Torres. Let him explain to you what he did for me, and you'll find out it ain't that hard. Call him today, change your life, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1 FM.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Missions opening night is here, and it's not just any Tuesday, it's AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Bring the whole family and catch all the action for just $2. Gates open at 6, first pitch at 7:05. Visit samissions.com for tickets and details.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Progressive asks, what do a slow Friday night, bored teenage boys,
I'm bored.
a pack of fireworks,
This is going to be awesome.
and a teetering branch suspended over your car have in common?
Look out!
They can quickly wreak havoc on your slow Friday night.
Uh-oh.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It's America's #1 sports fantasy act. 3 million players. Yes, I'm a member. You should be too. Download it now and remember the code Alamo, and you can get a deposit match of up to $100. Basketball is balling, baby. Football is coming. Baseball is swinging. It is time to go to Prize Picks because you put your fantasy knowledge into action. You know more. You know your less. You know who's better or not. You know what's going on. You're a fantasy player. Put that knowledge to work. I have, along with so many others. And right now, remember the code Alamo, and you can get $100 deposit match right now. Go download Prize Picks. We love watching Connor McDavid, Jude Bellingham, LeBron James. They are playing go more or less. It's so easy to do, and now's the time to go. You know when it's more, you know when it's less, and when you pair them together, you can win big, big bucks, up to 100 times your money. More, less, Prize Picks, Alamo. Go there.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Minix here from the Blitz, starting at 2 o'clock today. All the reaction from last night's national championship game. Plus, we'll talk some Cowboys football with Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk, especially about the possible holdout of one CeeDee Lamb. So, Rob, did you actually wake up from your nap to be disappointed by that eclipse?
I wasn't disappointed. It went dark. It went dark. It scared my chickens to death. My outdoor lights that are light censored came on in the middle of the day. I know it was cloudy, and I know people flew in from all over the world and was like, hey, man, it got dark in the middle of the day. I won't see that again. Very rarely can I wake up and say, this is going to happen today, and it will never happen to me. And if it does happen to me again, something terrible is about to happen.
I'm happy that you had the experience you did.
Well, because it's going to happen in about 15 years, but in like one little part and way up in northern Maine or something. I'm not going to go all the way up there because I've done it. So it wasn't a letdown. It just wasn't everything.
It was a letdown. You can say it.
It wasn't. Okay. Yeah, all of yesterday was not a letdown. All of it from beginning to end. From the numerous souls and blue moons, the tequila sunrise I started with, and the blue moon I ended with before my long afternoon nap post-eclipse. It was a great day. Championship night. Good basketball game. Not great, not thrilling, but well played on both ends. The dominance continued. And a dynasty established. Is UConn, is it another one in the next 2 years to truly be a dynasty in this modern age of soon to be unlimited transfers?
I think that 2 in a row is so difficult, right? I think that when you get 2 in a row, we look and say, okay, now you got to become a dynasty. Like it's almost worthless if you don't become a dynasty. And I suppose they technically have 2 years to do it because, for the most part, dynasties are defined as getting at least 3 and 4.
Right.
But it had been 17 years.
I give it, first of all, I give it 3 and 5.
Bob Stern from The Ticket has a great way of putting this. It's difficult to say. It makes sense in my mind, but you have to have at least more than half of the titles in the amount of years, if that makes sense. Like if you have 3 out of 4, you have more than half of what would be 2. So to your point, you have 3 and 5.
That's
you're still good.
And I think the best of the tradition obviously is 3 in a row, the three-peat. But 3 and 5 tells you you've got a few of the people that began with you.
Sure.
And you had some people that arrived in the middle of it. And then you had a group that didn't get it. And they fought over a couple years to get it. And when I see the 3 and 5, and that's Spurs stuff, when you see that, you go, man, that's a dynasty because it transcended. You had 2 generations in there. 3 and 4 could be one great contract. I signed 4 dudes to one great deal, and they came and went.
That's such a great way to look at it. Like, not a dynasty, but you look at the like the 04 Pistons team. It's just this like nucleus of people
that were here and
all those. That's what I'm saying. Like they went to all those Eastern Conference Finals. They got the one title in 04. And had they won multiple titles, it would have been a matter of like, yeah, well, you just had like this insane nucleus. Whereas to your point, to use this, appropriately, the Spurs dynasty, you have these core members, but you have to continually find the Bowens and the Sean Elliott's, and obviously you have the benefits of the Davis, but then you got to find the Patty Millses and the Danny Greenses and the Kawhis, and you've got to continually just mold around the core. Wow, this is a good take.
And go through some adversity, fall on your face, and get beat when you shouldn't have, or have an injury, and come back and do it again. Boy, that's one of those things that gives you shivers on your shoulders because that doesn't happen very often.
So that being said, 3 out of 5 is the bare minimum to be. You got to have at least 3.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
3.
You got to have at least 3, and we'll give you 2 more or 3 more years, I guess, to get it for UConn.
Is it outlandish to expect that in this day? I mean, can we even begin to say, do it again in the next 2 years, Hurley?
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, because 2 in a row hadn't happened in forever.
I know.
You know what I mean? And 2 in a row, it had been, almost 20 years. I mean, so it is so hard. And even then, the team before it had been 15 years or more than 15 years. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 15 years since Duke had done it. So, I mean, it is very, very, very hard to do what they just did. And now you are hunted in a different way. Now nobody likes the world that UConn, dominates, and everybody wants to change the status quo. And that's like, you look at the Chiefs, obviously coming off back-to-back titles. I mean, it is hard. Think of the core, the major 4 sports and professional sports in America. The Chiefs have won back-to-back titles. When was the last time we saw an NBA team win back-to-back titles?
Yeah, it's the Golden State. Was it Golden State?
I'm sorry, Golden State. Yeah. But even then, I mean, that took a great collection of talent. I mean, the Heat obviously was
they're
a great
dynasty.
Collection of talent.
That Golden State defines a dynasty.
Was Miami a dynasty?
No.
Right? Just a really great team.
Short-term contract. Everybody expired and left.
Right. So dynasties across sports in the NBA: Golden State, San Antonio, LA, and Chicago. Those are the last kind of 4 dynasties.
Pretty much,
in the NBA.
I would say that would be the appropriate, because of the time frame that it's involved. We have to look at 5 years, at the minimum 4. So yeah, there's just not very many, and that's by definition we don't want very many. And I just don't think, by that old definition, RJ, applies. Asking anybody, especially in an era where there are no contracts, when it is literally wide open free agency every year. You walk in and it could be, to ask a coach to manufacture 3 wins in 5 years with a merry-go-round of talent. If anybody can do it, it would be the UConns in the South. And women's sports is a little different, but not far away. Because there's just not as many avenues to transfer around for notoriety as the men have. But and to ask anybody to win 3 and 5, we're literally that third title in the 5th year, you'll be winning it with kids that were in the 8th grade when you started it, because you only get freshmen to win. Consider that.
So, staying in the world of college, because I know I jumped to the NBA. If Georgia won the national title this year or next year, are they a dynasty? Because I would give them 3 and 5.
We're getting there. We're getting there, and especially in college sports, 3 and 5. I think 2 years in a row is about the max that we can logically expect on a regular basis. I mean,
I would also, from a college football standpoint, and Georgia's kind of like the only one with an opportunity right now. If you survive a change in structure, and you know what I'm saying, like so in this case, like the alteration of the playoff, if you survive that and you still prosper, you still power through, you still, you're still just as inevitable, then, you're a dynasty. And maybe that's coming for UConn. Maybe the NCAA tournament will change. I mean, their lives aren't really changing from a Big East standpoint, but I mean, they are well insulated to have every opportunity to continue to thrive. You get 3 in a row, then you're a dynasty. Like obviously, and you're all time.
I will vote both of those teams, both South Carolina and UConn, if they continue their success, if Hurley and Staley both coaches continue, bringing in, they're going to be two easy teams to hate. They have very much the feel of an Alabama, which was an easy team to hate. I mean, my gosh. I mean, enough already kind of stuff. Then there's other teams that are easy to love. You like rooting for them. The easy to hate ones always seem to win. But you get the sense that Hurley and UConn could easily turn into Bama. Just who's up next, doesn't matter the name. They're going to be a first-round draft pick, and there'll be another one right behind them.
That's what I'm saying. It really helps their cause that they're feeding players into the NBA like crazy. I mean, they're a factory. You're the best recruit in the nation. It's a pretty simple conversation at this
Speaking of guys that have, manufactured or at least raised their draft prospects through the tournament, Edey, in my mind, certainly has. If he didn't jump on everybody, I'm just throwing that out there. But the guy that might have risen the most is the freshman for UConn, Castle.
Yeah.
That is a legit NBA two guard. Now, I don't know where he is on the draft boards, but what I saw last night, raise him up 4 or 5 picks. He made several $1 million last night. They have him this one at 8. Okay, appropriate. I'm late to the party. Yeah, he's that good. He's that good. Hey, Augusta, Georgia is humming around the pimento cheeses. There are, by my count, 89 players, one of which has got a bad shoulder. Let's look at the Masters on the other side. Things you need to know for the Masters weekend. It's just beginning. Practicing today, par 3 tomorrow, real stuff on Thursday. We got all your updates, all the headlines you need. You'll catch them right here on 94.1. That's why we call ourselves San Antonio Sports Star. We're looking at the Masters next. The wearing the green here on 94.1. This is the Morning Huddle.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, all this talk about CeeDee Lamb and a holdout. Could it possibly be? We got an expert we can ask.
Yeah, Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us at 5:15. And, of course, we'll react to last night's national championship game. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Progressive presents Good News, Bad News, Dumb News, then Great News. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text DRAFT to 200-300 for your free consultation on top-quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text DRAFT to 200-300 right now. Text the word DRAFT to 200-300. Don't wait. Text DRAFT to 200-300.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
94.1 FM. Punch it! You're riding with Rob and RJ. This is the Morning Huddle.
Hey, grab an E. We're huddling up. We're about to break for the day. That's RJ Ochoa. I'm Rob Thompson. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us on a fine Tuesday morning. Hope you enjoyed your eclipse. Put it and filed it away as a it'll never happen to you again kind of thing, and carried on with your life. We're 2 days away from the beginning of the 88th Masters. At some point, I'm going to get that down. A tradition like none other. It's just not velvet. Like Jim, it's just velvet.
A tradition unlike
the other. Whatever. It's just not good. Tiger's there. He owns the best cut percentage in Masters history. He's had 23 straight appearances in Augusta. If he makes the cut this week, he'll break the all-time Masters record for consecutive made cuts, held previously by Boom Boom himself, my favorite golfer until Tiger, Fred Couples, and Gary Player, the man in black. Gosh, I'm so excited it's Masters time. I'm an October baseball fan, and I am definitely an April golf fan.
This is one of the things, the very, very, very few things in sports that always delivers. Mm-hmm. Always. The Super Bowl doesn't always deliver. The NBA Finals don't always deliver. I mean, like, even the NCAA tournament, as wonderful as it is, does not always deliver. But the Masters always delivers. And the fact that it's, golf and there's a week's worth of anticipation, and it's, the majors are important and they're fun and they're interesting when they come around to certain venues. But the fact that this is always here, the fact that it's Augusta National and everybody knows all the traditions, everybody knows all the holes, everybody knows all the intricacies, and everybody has all the memories and the history of different things and players and moments associated with it all. It is one of the most unique things that happens in a sporting sense because the star of the event, the course, has remained the same for all of time.
If I said Field or John Rahm, or no,
Field.
sorry, Scheffler. Field or Scheffler?
Field. I'm taking the Field over anybody.
Really?
There's no way.
Scheffler is an overwhelming favorite.
He's the
Bigger
number
than
one
I've
golfer
seen
in the
what,
world.
years. I mean,
he's the number one golfer in the world, playing at an incredibly high level. The only golfer in the world who's playing better than him is Nelly Korda. Just she's on a different.
Oh, how about my man Akshar?
Akshay.
Akshay.
His name. Akshay Bhatia.
I'm telling you, man. He went in there one-armed. Took a turn. He's the hottest golfer in the world.
He's such a cool story too, because things like that don't happen at other tournaments. Like other events are special, and people go to events when they're kids. And I hope a lot of people were able to take their kids to the Valero last week. And I hope someday your kid is winning the Valero, and it's a wonderful story. But the fact that Akshay competed in the drive, chip, and putt, and he's the first alum to ever, make it to the event as a professional golfer is insane. I mean, that's such a cool, and that he punched his ticket the week before on the heels of the shoulder issue and all that different kind of stuff. And so nothing, I mean, some of these things are a little silly, like the caddy bibs and things like that, but it's what makes the event special. I mean, the event is truly timeless. You can take any moment from any Masters, and it all looks and feels the same.
Rory's chasing some history, as is Tiger. Rory has a chance to get the Grand Slam. Tiger is chasing a chance to tie Jack with 6.
I want to believe so much in Rory. I want it for him so badly, but I just can't. I can't pick him. I'm sorry. I really want to so badly, but I can't. He's been chasing this thing for a decade, man. I mean, in terms of being his final major, it's the only one he hasn't won, and he's been chasing it for a decade. I mean, again, in terms of collecting them all,
well, he got some good karma up at the TPC here. Maybe he took a little bit of Texas grass on his cleats, and maybe it'll work out for him for coming here. A little positivity for the brother.
I think, are you looking at odds right now?
No, not in front of me. Though I see 5-1. No player. Go ahead.
DraftKings odds. Scotty's got the best. He's the only one in the black.
Yeah.
Minus 200. Rory is next at plus 110. Reigning champion John Rahm's plus 115. Xander Schauffele, I won't touch that either, plus 140. Hideki, who beat Xander a couple of years ago, is plus 180. Brooks Koepka, there's some good value there at plus 190. Joaquin Niemann's playing at an incredible level on the LIV Tour.
All right, we're getting to places I don't care.
Victor Hovland is a name to watch, plus 280. You want some great value? I think about going Victor Hovland. I don't know why Bryson's is high. Will Zalatoris. If you're really looking for a name, you're doing a Masters pool, Masters pick'em. I invited all the
every
station
year
folk to
it's
mine.
Will Zalatoris. Every year I got my dark horse.
He has among the highest strokes gained in majors.
Yes.
I mean, he's Brooks-ish in majors. So I would watch out for him. I would love to believe in Justin Thomas too, but I can't do it. I mean, not right now. I would love to see Max Homa do it. The content would be incredible.
Is Justin's
but I can't
wife
do
coming?
It. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask him.
Well, I wonder who got the invite, her or him.
I mean, everybody gets the invite for all this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, this is the biggest week of the year on the golf calendar. It does not get any bigger, any more elaborate than this. This is Airbnb City right now. This is Verbo City in Augusta.
Are there any 2 golfers you would take against the field?
I would take Scotty and Rahm. I would take the last 2.
That's the 2 I would look, right.
Yeah.
But okay, so Rahm, we haven't seen him forever. When was the last time he played a tourney?
The last time he played on the PGA Tour was last year, but they played the LIV event in Miami last week.
LIV.
I mean, his team won the first LIV event. I mean, so there's that. So it's difficult to contextualize things in a LIV because the official World of Golf rankings are so difficult to track because they obviously don't include LIV players or they're impacted. Data Golf does the best job when it comes to kind of curating all this information. And so Data Golf currently has John Rahm as the 4th best golfer in the world. From our top 5 are Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, and the aforementioned Victor Hovland, who you hated on when I tried to give you good odds on when he was at plus 280. So Joaquin Niemann is right there at 7. He's also on the LIV Tour. He actually had a special invitation to this as a result of being on the Live Tour. John Rahm obviously qualifies as a Masters champion. I mean,
who are the?
We're in. Go ahead.
No, I was going to. Who are the 4 amateurs that get invited? How do you get in? What are the?
You have to qualify. I
So
mean, you have to.
Is there like a singular
process.
tournament that if you win this one, you're in? Like a.
I mean, they have all these rules. Obviously, that's the way.
Because I remember
Augusta works.
Yeah, the Aggie kid last year.
Right.
That came out of nowhere. That was competing all the way through.
It's a process to get in. I mean, it's kind of one of those like the NFL comp formula. Like they don't fully divulge the exact qualifying metrics or measurements, but they know, and that's what matters the most.
Okay, the one that's most likely to break the ice, the most PGA Tour wins without a major. Patrick Cantlay, Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau, Ricky Fowler, Max Homa, Victor Hovland, or Chris Kirk. All of them have at least 6 wins, none with a major.
I would love to say Xander. I really would. And I was rooting for him a lot in 2021 when he was coming down the stretch with Hideki. But I think the most likely is Victor Hovland. I mean, he was incredible at the end of last season. And, the season so far is short, but I would not bet against him. It's kind of his time. He sort of feels like a next dude up. He was great in the Ryder Cup as well, unfortunately for us. So of those group, I wouldn't take Tony Finau. I wouldn't take Patrick Cantlay. But tomorrow, by the way, since it is the par 3 contest, we will be reminded about the year where Tony Finau broke his ankle and then went on to compete. So,
yeah. What are those dislocated shoulder the weekend before kind of stories?
No, it was. I think it
remember.
was he made a hole in one on the par 3 contest and was running
dancing.
to celebrate
Yeah.
and misstepped and like rolled his ankle. It was
terrifying. The last 3 Masters champions were 30 years of age or younger.
Yeah, I mean, and they've all been kind of obvious when you look back on it. Last year everybody was still all in on the Scotty thing, and John Rahm was just hiding in plain sight. And even the Scotty thing, I mean, he was on such fire at the beginning of that 2022 season that it was just impossible to pick against him. And Hideki had been playing at a really high level, and he just didn't have that moment. And so that he got it was super cool. And the year before, Dustin Johnson was at this, really high level, and that was the November Masters, and so it was a little bit different. And then, that takes us all the way back to 2019, and when Tiger won, and that was, I mean, that's one of the most incredible sporting events of our lifetime at this moment in time.
When I see courses described as a second shot golf course, and Augusta always is, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it certainly helps to be long off the tee here, but they've done everything they. Yeah,
I mean, after Tiger, I thought they kind of did everything they could to eliminate.
They've done everything they can to lengthen it. I mean, but there's only so much they can do, and so it's all about your approach shots here, and it's if you're long enough, and most dudes on the tour now are. That second shot can be the difference for you throughout the entire week, especially on the par 5s. I mean, there's a lot of eagle opportunities. There's a lot of crystal that's handed out. If anyone's unaware, you get a set of crystal glasses if you eagle at any point throughout the week during the Masters. A lot of dudes rack it up. Yeah. So crystal glasses, I think you get.
All right.
And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. That must be somebody comes over to your house and wants a drink and you pour it. They're like, how'd you get these? Well, let me tell you.
I'm reading the insight into the previous wins and how the winners won. 12 of the last 14 Masters champions ranked within the top 7 in greens hit and regulation. When I tell you that, who's the best shot maker doing that today?
Scotty. I mean, there's a reason he's number 1 in the world. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. John Rahm is still that dude. I mean, he may be on the Live Tour, but don't forget. I mean, he might be it's hard to say anybody's better than Scotty, and that's why, like, I would love. I'm going to enjoy every moment of this tournament no matter what. But I would love a final Sunday pairing between Scotty and John Rahm. We didn't know this at the time, but at the 2020 Ryder Cup that was played in September of 21, Scotty went out with Rahm in Sunday singles, and he beat him. And everybody's like, who's this Scotty Scheffler guy that just went toe-to-toe with John Rahm? And all of a sudden, we would come to find out. And so I would love to see that. And I would obviously love for Tiger to be in the mix. I mean, that just elevates things so substantially. I would love to see Brooks in the mix. I mean, Brooks is the ultimate major just dog. And it's a lot more fun when he's involved, and I really, really want to see him be in contention on Sunday.
I think for the sake of golf, we need a winner that's older than 30.
Why?
I'm just gonna say I know that the Masters is its own thing, and it has its own orbit and its own gravity, and it has all the things that it's like its own entity, is separate and apart from golf. It's the Masters. That's why everybody's here, and they're allowed to be here. The previous 3 winners under 30. I think for the sake of golf, we need to get the upper echelon established. There needs to be 4 or 5 dudes consistently every weekend.
Well, Brooks checks that box.
Does
for you.
he? But
Brooks is north of 30.
Right. And I think Brooks would be the kind of guy that I'd like to see win it. At least I think golf would like to see win it. If it's somebody new or somebody different, that's always nice. But I want somebody that we know his name. When it comes down to Sunday, somebody that the foursome, we all know who they are and know what they're capable of, and also know their foibles and their problems. Not some new cat that's on fire. I want to know the dude.
Well, I mean, there's always, kind of 2 sides of that, because to your point, in the 2016 Masters, Danny Willett outlasted Jordan Spieth, and everybody's like, what? I mean, whatever. But I think some people felt somewhat similar in 2023 when Scotty won. And everybody thought,
but he hung around. So in hindsight, it was the beginning.
And everybody was like, "Oh, this dude Scotty Scheffler is just on this tear right now. This will fade, and he's just become." I mean, we are so quick to crown a modern day Tiger, but he really is. Like he's got this like chokehold over the field. So I mean,
but we don't know that until
sometimes
later.
The come from nowhere guy sticks is all I'm saying,
and that's fine. But I won't know that he's stuck until after he's stuck. But for me. It just seems like it's been a minute since I've seen 4 dudes, 2 of which have a jacket, 1 of which had a problem, and that there are 4 legitimate stories at 2:00 on a Sunday, apart from the score. I mean, apart from them playing man golf, doing man things, that kind of Masters sweat box that is the back 9. I want to know them.
I think for me, what I'm excited about is the state of professional golf on the men's side is in
chaos.
Flux.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like we finally developed a level of comfort in the chaos. That there was the chaos is stabilized, at least. Like, we're still in these chaotic waters, but we now kind of understand our environment. Whereas the last couple of Masters, it's been this like, well, what's going to happen to this person? And are they going to be allowed? And how people are going to treat them? And whatever. Like, we're in deep enough to where it's not as big of a deal. And so it feels like for the first time in a while, this is just about the Masters and not about politics.
I think that's why I feel like I'd like to have some sort of lineage, I've seen this guy before. I want to see him overcome. I want to see him do it again, whatever the case might be. We're going to do it again tomorrow. The Butts will do it again today in just a couple of hours. But in the between, I believe Greeny showed up to work to celebrate UConn and roams on a vine. RJ, any parting words? You've got 10 seconds to make them valuable.
Wow. Eat something delicious for lunch.
We stumbled across the finish line. We'll be back again tomorrow, giving our all.
When you think San Antonio sports, think